Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to Wrestling Days Live. We are live for this week's Wednesday Night War. It's not a war. There is no AEW, so it is just Wednesday Night NXT, Wednesday Night Wrestling featuring one show. And I think that's really exciting. I think for me it's always difficult going back and forth between the two shows. So to actually be able to sit here and just enjoy one of the shows, I am very, very much looking forward to doing that. So, yeah, should be interesting. This is obviously the go-home for TakeOver 30. That is taking place on Saturday night. We've still got a couple of spots that we need to fill for the TakeOver ladder match. That is the North American Championship match. So, yeah, we've still got a couple of spots to fill there. We should get those spots filled in tonight. We've got Finn Balor against the Velveteen Dream. And we have also got Ridge Holland taking on Johnny Gargano. There's quite a few matches to go through. Obviously, there's been quite a bit of news today as well. So, we can talk about Renee Young. We can talk about the Thunderdome. There's been some new images of that. I kind of held off actually doing anything on either of those. We don't know where Renee Young's going, so as a result of not knowing where she's going, I didn't do a video on it. As soon as we get some more information, as soon as we know what's happening, then I'd be interested in doing a video and talking about it. But because we don't know where she's going yet, because everyone's asking me the same question, is she going to AEW? That's all anyone wants to know. And the answer is we don't know. We don't know where she's going. If I was to put money on it, I would say no. If I was to put money on if she's going to AEW or not, I would say that she's not. I think that she is a very, very good broadcaster. If you look on Twitter today, there is loads of people that are coming out saying how great she is. People like Mick Foley. Just, do you know what I mean? Like tons of legends coming out saying how much of a great announcer she is, an interviewer and everything, host. So I really feel like she deserves to go to the biggest thing possible. I've seen a few people saying Sports Center and things like this. I don't know where the vacancies are. I don't know who would take her. Obviously, AEW would offer her quite a bit of money, so it's all going to depend what offers are on the table. But does she want to work in wrestling still for a different company? Does she want to work with her husband? I mean, being around John Moore, I think would be nice. I'm sure she would enjoy that. But I don't know. Do you want to work with them and then travel back with them and, you know, have a personal life with them as well? Like, that's quite intense. You do see a lot of the time people saying that, you know, it's always nice to have that little bit of a time away from each other. I don't know. Maybe that's something she would enjoy. Perhaps she would love to work with him and be around him all the time, like Brandy and obviously Cody are. My gut feeling is that if there's a big offer on the table, something like Sports Center, which I do think would come in if there's a vacancy, I think she goes there. I really do. I think that she's at the point now where she's probably done all she can do in wrestling. So it all depends what offers are out there. So we'll have to wait and see. But I wish her all the best. Apparently she handed in her notice last week, and we're going to have to see what news breaks through on that. Sean says ESPN, I think. Yeah, I think that it's going to be something along those lines, and she absolutely deserves it. She spent her time in wrestling. And if she goes to AEW, brilliant, you know, more power to her. They're going to give her a good offer. I mean, they're coming in for her. No way they're not coming in for her. And, you know, John might even try and twist her arm and try and convince her to come over. But I just think that if she's going to have something like a Sports Center offer come in that's going to be comparable money-wise, I think she might want to branch out and do other things. She's got other passions outside of wrestling. So, you know, she might want to revisit some other sports and do some other things. So my gut feeling, if I had to bet, would be that she won't go to AEW, but let's watch this space. Shout out to John. Hope you are well. Wrestling Days fan. Yeah, I'm all right. Thank you. Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. I don't know what that's in relation to, but shout out to you, James. Lauren says, does anyone know how to watch NXT on the internet? Well, if you want to watch wrestling, you'd probably go to Google and, I don't know, put something in like watch wrestling. I want to watch wrestling, and then maybe just see what comes back. Days, I think she will become a cook. I've seen that she's released a cookbook. I don't know, dude. It depends how much money's in it, isn't it? I mean, if she could start her own cookery business and there's an opportunity there, and there's like some ventures that she can go down and cookbooks, and maybe someone's offered her own cooking show, or it's her passion, maybe. But I'd say it's an outsider. I'd say that's kind of more of a hobby, More. I mean, like, I was thinking about this. Do you think that WWE have left her off TV because they don't want any secrets going to AEW? Because if you think she's one of the best backstage interviewers, and she's just never used. She was on Backstage, and obviously that got cancelled. There was talk that they were trying to bring back Talking Smack, and I thought that was going to be a new way of them using her. But they just don't seem to use her that much. Like, considering she's one of the absolute best. Like, she should be all over WWE programming, and she just isn't. So I wondered if they were, like, keeping her at arm's length so that she couldn't really give any information to AEW. But then I was thinking, well, Peyton Royce of the Iconics, is she married to Shawn Spears? I think they did get married. I know they're seeing each other. I know they're in a relationship. I don't know how far it went. I think they're married. So, yeah, Peyton Royce can always be giving secrets away. So then I was like, it doesn't really add up. So I can't get my head around it. I mean, if I was Renee Young, I think I'd hand my notice in as well, because they just don't use her. She just doesn't get used. Nowhere near as much as she should. Creed, shout out to you, says, hello, Days. Hello, chat. Super excited for this Friday and NXT tonight. And tonight, you will face The Undertaker. What, I have no idea what that means either. But yeah, Friday should be a lot of fun. Obviously, we're seeing the Thunderdome coming together tonight. Should be interesting. I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty down on NXT at the moment. I mean, consistently now it's been behind AEW for me. I just don't like what they're doing at the moment. But I think they've got some good stars. I think there's going to be some decent matches tonight. Balor versus Velveteen Dream. I mean, obviously Triple H has come out and said that they have done an investigation into Velveteen Dream. I was really pleased to hear Triple H confirm that. He's now gone on record as saying that they have looked into it and they couldn't find anything. So I thought that was good. The only thing is there's someone on Twitter that's still saying no one spoke to me. No one spoke to me about my experience. And Triple H was asked about that, and his answer was that he doesn't want to talk about the investigation anymore. It's been done. And if there is anything further that needs to be looked into, then they'll look into it. So it's still a little bit grey, if we're being honest. I'm really pleased they've come out and said they've done an investigation, but there's still a couple of questions floating around, and seemingly Triple H didn't want to answer those earlier today. So don't know. It's still hard to get behind the Velveteen Dream. I feel a bit more comfortable now that I know that it has been looked into. And from what they looked into, nothing was found that was wrong. But, yeah, still not 100%. So you've got that going on. I think Johnny Gargano against Ridge Holland. I've got a picture of Ridge Holland behind me. I really like his character. I'm just not a fan of his entrance music. And apparently WWE see a lot of potential in him. So that's going to be somewhat quite interesting. Isaiah Swerve and Breezango against Del Fantasma, might be all right. Rhea Ripley, Shotzi Blackheart taking on Mercedes Martinez and Aliyah. Could be good, actually. That those matches have been all right in recent weeks. I think Mercedes Martinez is very, very promising. She's always had talent, and now she's getting an opportunity and getting some TV time. She's kind of knocking it out of the park. So I would like to see Mercedes Martinez, Rhea Ripley 1-on-1. And surely we will very, very soon. Monica says she's recovering from COVID. Who's that? How long was Renee in WWE for? Asks Miss Clown One. Shout out to you, dude. She was in for quite a while. I want to say like 5 years, maybe longer. Let's have a look. Renee Young. Wikipedia. Let's have a look. It's a good question. Could be even longer than 5 years. Could be like 6. Kind of 7 in a way, actually. I mean, she was doing stuff in 2013, so that's 7 years ago. Young debuted January 23rd, 2013. She actually signed at the end of 2012, but she didn't make her first appearance till 2013, so 7 years. Wow, there you go, 7 years that she's been around for. And before that, you know, she was doing in Canada, like a sports show as well. So she's got a broadcasting background. She's really good. I mean, universal praise for Renee Young, and it's easy to see why. She's just a really good host. I mean, I think Kathy Kelly was decent as well, and I think that Charly Caruso is really good also. So Kayla Braxton's fine. I mean, I think they've got some really good broadcasters. I think they do go out and get some really good talent. Yeah, right, they made a mistake with Sarah Schreiber, but, you know, we all make mistakes, don't we? We all make mistakes. Right, let's jump down. Dace, do you think WWE will be considering a match between Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar in the near future? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no because they've not done it yet. I don't know why they would do it in the future. I know that Bobby Lashley's been getting a little bit of a push, but I don't think he's been getting enough of a push to see him take on the likes of Brock Lesnar. He just hasn't been built up to that level. So, no, I don't see any reason why they would do that match. Brock tends to be either champion or going after the championship. And if Bobby Lashley's not going to be around that title picture, then I don't think so. Have you registered for the Thunderdome? I didn't. No, I did manage to get on whilst it was open. I know a lot of people managed to get on, but it had just closed. So it was only open for a little while. So I did get on and I read the terms, and unfortunately the terms rule me out. The first thing it says is that when you join the Thunderdome, you can't stream at the same time. So no YouTube, no Netflix. Like, they want you to literally just sit there, watch the show and just have a camera. They don't want you doing anything else. And I can understand that because obviously internet connections and things like this, they don't want it to be a case that fans are disappearing off screen. So my internet connection is okay. I might have got away with that. But the other thing they said was that they want exclusive rights to the footage. So they want to be like your reaction on screen and the footage that's coming from the camera. They want exclusive rights to that. Now, obviously, I can't grant that because basically what they're saying there is, you know, they want one camera, you in a room watching the show and literally reacting to whatever's happening. And that's it. And I can't promise that because, of course, we stream at the same time. So I kind of looked at it and I was like, man, I just don't think I can register for this. So, yeah, unfortunately, it's one I've had to let pass me by. So it is what it is. OMG, those greens says, will you do AEW on Saturday before NXT TakeOver starts? No and no. I mean, AEW we might do in the background, but it will definitely be in the background. So Saturday for me is there's a big boxing match that's very important. Dillian White against Povetkin. It's in the heavyweight division. These two are both contenders. In fact, a lot of people are saying that Dillian White should be next in line to face Anthony Joshua. And they have faced each other before. So it's quite a big boxing match, one of the biggest ones we've had since boxing restarted. So big, it's behind a paywall here in the UK. You've got to actually pay to watch it. So I'm kind of tempted to pay and watch it, because as soon as that finishes, UFC will begin. So I think my plan for Saturday, in fact, it is my plan for Saturday, is boxing into UFC, and I might try and have AEW on in the background. So shout out to you, OMG, those greens. Love the streams. You are my top 3 favorite YouTubers. Thank you, Anonymous J. Appreciate the support, dude. JS17 says, Dave, she could be a presenter on a cooking show like MasterChef or something like that. Yes, that's true. That's true, yeah. If it's going to be to go and do presenting of some kind, then, yeah, you're right. Yeah, she could go and do that. I thought you meant like her own cooking show where she's the one doing the cooking and everything. I find that a little bit hard to get on board with, because of course there's like Michelin starred chefs and things like this that are out there that have got their own cooking shows. So it's hard to see how Renee Young kind of fits into what is quite a crowded marketplace. But if she was going to be a presenter for one of those shows, then yes, yeah, I could see that. What match are you watching back on TakeOver? Because you are not doing a stream. What match are you watching back on TakeOver? I don't know, dear. I haven't even thought about it. I haven't even thought about it. Alvin says, Days, can you imagine my registration form was not sold out for like 2 hours? Registration form was not sold out for 2 hours. Yeah, I know that there was a lot of people saying they were disappointed because when they got on, it had closed. So it was quite a short window, if a couple of hours makes sense. DJ says, your name is Wrestling Days, a.k.a. wrestling should be your bread and butter. Your first priority, boxing and UFC, should come later. Well, I mean, I have to stop you there because obviously there is wrestling in UFC. Wrestling is quite kind of a big aspect of the UFC. And a lot of people that have actually represented like various countries at the Olympics in wrestling compete in the UFC. So I feel pretty confident that I'm standing up to my name. Robin813 says, Days, breaking news, NXT's lead writer has left. Cool. Imtiaz says, Days, I ordered White versus Povetkin on Sky Sports box office. Shout out to you, Harry. Yeah, I'm gonna do that as well, Imtiaz. Days, is there a chance that you could do a watch along for the NBA playoffs? Sadly not. I'm not really best positioned for that. I mean, I do like NBA, and I do support the Toronto Raptors. Not just because they're the current champs. I've supported them since I went to Toronto. I was fortunate enough to go to Toronto with my school. My school did like a trip to Canada, and they got like a really good price because obviously, you know, there was a lot of people going. So I was just really, really fortunate that I was allowed to go on that trip. So I went to Toronto in like the 90s, and we never saw the Raptors play, but it was kind of the perfect storm. The Raptors, I think, were named after like the Jurassic Park hype because they got formed like 94, 95. Jurassic Park had come out in 93. I think the second film was coming out about 95, 96. So dinosaurs and raptors were all on trend. So I'm sure they're named because of that reason. I think it was like a fan vote. So anyway, I liked Jurassic Park. I wasn't like crazy into dinosaurs, but I went to Toronto, didn't know nothing about basketball. Really liked the name, really liked the logo, and yeah, man, I just started supporting them. And they've been awful. They've been rubbish. But people like Bosch and Vince Carter and Damon Stoudemire and just loads of great players over the years. And yeah, I mean, to see them go on and win the championship was kind of really, really cool. Really cool. So I do support them. I know they've got a decent chance this year, so I'll be backing them. I hope they can get the job done. But honestly, I don't know a great deal. I just watch as a fan, you know, rather than breaking it down. Break it down. Days, do you think Tyson Fury will box next? Yeah, I think he will box soon. I haven't heard when his next fight's going to be, but I know that they do want to do the third fight against why can't I remember his name? The Bomber. See, if you lose, you get forgotten. Deontay Wilder. That's his name. Days, where is JoJo? Well, she just had another child, didn't she? So she's on leave at the moment, I believe. Days, do you see Lesnar retiring or leaving WWE because his contract is up in September this or next year? I don't know, man. I mean, it's easy money for him. Where else is he going to go and get that kind of a paycheck? He could maybe do films. He's such a big guy. He's got such an impressive look. I'm pretty sure Hollywood would take him for a few projects. But it's just easy money, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Just works on his farm, lives with Sable, just does the odd match every now and again. Like it's a bit of a dream life. So he could retire. I mean, I should imagine he's got enough money, but I think he'll carry on. Are you going to do Timofimo versus Lomachenko? I would be tempted to do that, yes. I would be tempted to do that, Robin. Days, have you seen the latest photos of the Thunderdome? Yes. It looks awesome. I can't wait to see it get finished. Like, they're still finishing it, so I didn't bother doing a video or anything. I feel like in the next 24 hours, WWE will show us what the finished thing looks like, and that's when we'll jump on it. Days, Fiend versus Strowman, Falls Count Anywhere. WWE are promoting it on Instagram. Cool. Jennifer Palmer, shout out to you. Says, Days, love the streams. Thank you, Jennifer. Shout out to you, my friend. Let's see what else people are saying. I always love jumping in the chat. I love chatting with you guys. It's why we always start the hour before. We always start an hour before so that we can get into the chat and throw a few things around. But as we said, we've got Adam Cole, Pat McAfee. They're face-to-face tonight on the show. We've got Finn Balor and Velveteen Dream. Winner goes into the ladder match. Johnny Gargano against Ridge Holland. Winner goes into the ladder match. Isaiah Swerve and Breezango taking on Phantasma. So that should be interesting. And then we've got Rhea Ripley and Shotzi Blackheart taking on Mercedes Martinez and Aliyah. So quite a stacked card tonight. And it's going to be so refreshing just having to focus on one show. That's what's exciting me the most. Gio says, Days, do you think that Retribution will strike NXT? No. I think they're very much keeping them just for Raw and SmackDown. They've been around for a few weeks and they've not struck yet. So, no, I don't think they will. Who is your least favourite WWE superstar? Does Pat McAfee count? If Pat McAfee counts, I'll say him. He must be under a contract to be able to wrestle that, so done. Days, what do you think is next for Rowan? And if he returns, how could he be the leader of Retribution? I don't think he would be the leader. He doesn't really strike me as a leader kind of character. You know, he's always been with Daniel Bryan. I know he turned on him eventually and then went solo, but that fell flat. And then he was in Bludgeon Brothers, and then he was obviously in Wyatt Family. I suppose he could step out of the shadow now and try to be a leader of a group. But I feel like Rusev is a better choice. If they want to tell the story about people that have been let go, then I feel like Rusev is probably the biggest name that hasn't gone to sign with anyone else yet, or seemingly hasn't signed with anyone else yet. See Wrestling, shout out to you. What's he saying? Days, did you hear about Buff Bagwell? No. Has been taken to hospital with injuries following a crash. No, I hadn't heard. That's awful news. I hope he is well. What is that, like a car accident or something? No, I hadn't heard. That's man, awful news. Thoughts with him. I hope it's nothing too serious. Dace, do you think that WWE will move on to virtual reality with the Thunderdome, asks Michael. Virtual reality could be possible. Virtual reality, but where it kind of goes... Well, they already do a little bit of virtual reality. They have done virtual reality where you put on those headsets and you can actually... You're kind of in the corner of the ring. They've trialed it. So they put a VR camera on one of the ring posts and you put on the headset at home, and then you tuned into, I think it was a SummerSlam from last year before, and you were basically, you could choose from lots of different cameras. There was one that I think was put on the barricade. You might remember they had a camera that was sticking out on the barricade. So I think they had a camera there that you could choose, or one on the ring post. And basically, it was like the action was happening in front of you. The fight was happening in front of you. Like, I have never seen it myself. I've seen a boxing match using that technology, and it is freaky. It is really weird. Like, it feels like you're stood in the corner of the ring. So, yeah, I'd love for them to keep exploring that. Steph has already said that they've been exploring it. So, it just depends where virtual reality gets to, because I heard this week that Oculus have come out and said that you're going to need a Facebook profile for future Oculus accounts. So if you've got any of the Oculus headsets, you can just sign in. It's just a standalone thing at the moment, but that's going to change. And there's been absolute uproar about it. People are really angry. So yeah, I don't know where we are. I mean, like, did PlayStation VR work? I don't know. I don't know if that's taken off or if it's even going to be a thing on PS5. So it's hard to know where the VR market is. I don't know. Do you remember, like, 3D TVs? They seem to have died as well. So 3D Blu-rays were a thing as well, weren't they? And I don't think that's a thing anymore. So, yeah, this tech just keeps coming and going. So I think it's something they'll look at, but it's hard to say if it's going to be the next big thing. 45 Devor, shout out to you, my friend. I can't see your message, but I appreciate the support all the same. JS17 says, Days, in my opinion, 5 of the Retribution members are going to be Carmella, Rowan, Barrett, Dana Brooke, and Rusev. What do you think? Yeah, I mean, you've got a mixture there of stars that have been let go and maybe stars that are being overlooked. I don't know. I'd be surprised if it was that mixture. It's hard to say. There's so many different ways they can go with Retribution. As I said, it could be people that were let go. It could be people that have been undervalued but are still under contract, or it could be Evolve superstars. Hard to say. Will NXT be in the draft this year? Apparently so. There is a draft. Triple H spoke about a WWE draft. So, yeah, NXT will be involved. Days, what big names do you think will return at SummerSlam? There's a chance that you get John Cena. He was at WrestleMania. And, be interesting to see if he returns for the second biggest show of the year. Outside of that, I'm not sure who you can get. I mean, Ember Moon is seemingly out for the foreseeable future. And her injury, just not expecting to see her back until the end of the year at the earliest. Same with Edge, same with Charlotte, same with Xavier. I don't know who's out that you could expect to come back. I don't think Roman makes an appearance, because I don't think Roman's coming back until coronavirus has kind of settled down. The whole reason he's staying away is because he's got this, like, weakened immune system, and, it's just not worth the risk. He'd rather stay at home with his kids, and I can't say I blame him. So I don't know. I think returns are very, very difficult. Very difficult. I think that's why they might be leaning on Retribution instead, But maybe a John Cena. 45 Devor says, Dave, have you found the new AEW figures yet? I haven't even looked, to be honest. I need to go and do a toy hunt, and I might find them out there in the world, but probably won't. I mean, it seems like everyone's looking for them, so I don't expect to be successful. I mean, I easily could have pre-ordered them, and I easily could have pre-ordered The Fiend and stuff like this, but I'm not really in a rush. Do you know what I mean? Like, not really. If I get them, I get them. If I don't, I don't. I think for me, I'm more focused on the streams. I'm more focused on just doing a toy hunt rather than just ordering figures for, ordering them's sake. So I'd rather be finding them out in the real world. I mean, if I don't get this Fiend, there's better Fiend, I think, coming in, because they're bringing out an Ultimate Edition Fiend, which I think looks amazing, incredible. like better than the one that's out. So I'd rather just wait for that anyway. And when it comes to the AEW figures, I'm not really desperate for them. I think they look all right. A couple of them look a little bit, but I think they look all right. But they're very popular. Take nothing away from that. Very, very popular. But yeah, even they're going to just keep getting better. I mean, this is season 1, the first, series. People are probably picking them up thinking they'll go up in value, which they really could. You keep them boxed, you put them to one side kind of a thing. So, yeah, I get it. Dave's random question. What was the most shocking wrestling unmasking of all time? I would say El Santo. El Santo. Let me have a look on Wikipedia to give you actual. He is regarded as one of the greatest lucha stars of all time. He wrestled between he was born in 1917. He passed away in 1984. He made his debut in 1934. So he wrestled for like 50 odd years, and he is he was buried in his mask, and it's one of the biggest funerals in the history of Mexico. How about that? One of the biggest funerals in the history of Mexico. And I'm sure that no one ever saw him without his mask. He always wore his mask, and I'm sure it was El Santo. Yeah. El Santo removed his mask publicly for the first and only time in his career. No one had seen his face. And he went onto this talk show and he took his mask off for the first and only time, basically so that he could say goodbye to his fans in person. And then the week after that, he died. Just incredible. Absolutely incredible. So I can't think of a bigger, more shocking unmasking than that. He was in like films and everything. He is on the Hall of Fame. He is like Mount Rushmore when it comes to Mexican wrestlers. Absolutely. Multiple time champion. El Santo is known as the Saint. Had a career that spanned 5 decades. Was in multiple movies as well. So yeah, absolute legend. So I'd go with that. What do you think about the spoiler coming from someone in attendance from AEW's taping? Apparently Rowan debuts in a match to help Brody. Thunder Rosa challenges Shida. Well, apparently they've been debunked as being not true. So I don't believe they're true. All I'll say is that I can see Thunder Rosa being a future opponent of Shida. So I would say that, watch this space on that. I don't know anything. Obviously, she's someone that we on the channel have got a lot of respect for because she's a great champion in NWA. We've been on quite a few of your live streams, like around the start of lockdown and everything. And yeah, she's an awesome person. And I would honestly wish her all the best. So I don't want to see her leave the NWA, but I hope she does go to AEW. I just want it to be the success that she should be, because more people need to know about her. Do you think Ciampa is in Retribution? No, WWE guy. I don't think it really fits him. I think that he's always kind of struck me as being a bit of a lone wolf, hasn't he? Do you know what I mean? He kind of the only person that he trusts or has had any relationship seemingly with is Johnny Gargano, and their relationship was so turbulent. It just wouldn't really make sense for him to surround himself with children. So I'm going to say no. Days, why did you read those out loud? I was avoiding rumours. Because they've been apparently they're not true. I saw the reports on, I can't remember if it was Ringside News. Ringside News broke that information, and then they had to issue an update saying it turns out that this is fake. So apparently it's not true. So it's, I don't know. I mean, I suppose they're rumours, but yeah, even wrestling reporters are coming out saying that it's fake. So Randy versus Tommaso versus Velveteen Dream, says Brendan. We got 20 minutes till NXT begins. We are 20 minutes away. Days, I can see Cena helping Bray win at SummerSlam, and Orton wins the title after Michaels turns heel at Hell in a Cell 2013. What do you think? Cena helping Bray makes sense. I like it. I like Cena being a heel. I think that what happened at SummerSlam, WrestleMania, has to have a knock-on effect. Cena can't go through whatever he went through at WrestleMania and be the same. Like, you can't just have Cena coming down acting like he always has. Like, WrestleMania has got to matter. It's got to mean something. Otherwise, what was the point of it? So, the jury is still out on that WrestleMania Firefly Funhouse match because we still don't know what it was. And we're not really going to know what it was until we see Cena next. If Cena is with Bray and is a heel, then I'll be into that. I think that'll be really, really cool. Wrestle with Andy. Shout out to you, buddy. Hope you are well. Wrestle with Andy says, Days, what if CM Punk and the new Nexus are Retribution? They never ended their storyline. Yeah, there's a lot of people hoping that it's CM Punk. Could it be CM Punk? I mean, it could be CM Punk, but this is going to have to be a long story, I think, because they're not bringing CM Punk back. Surely they're not bringing CM Punk back without actual people being in the actual building. People on screens going, it's not going to be the same. Like, you're not going to get the crowd. How are they going to get the crowd noise? I don't understand. How are they going to get the actual atmosphere? I don't know what they're going to do. So I haven't even thought about that. We've got this Thunderdome that's going to have, like, faces of people watching at home. But how are you going to get the This Is Awesome chants and all of that? I don't know. So surely they're not, if they are going that way, they're not going to do it in the Thunderdome. They're going to need actual crowd, surely. So I don't know. I don't think it's going that way. We've been down this road so many times. But I know people would love it. Chalmers, shout out to you. Donald Days, it can't be Rusev. He's announced that he's tested positive for COVID-19 on his YouTube channel. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it could be, because it could be that he was the plan to be the leader, because apparently everyone that we've seen isn't necessarily in the group. This sounds so strange, but they're literally using performance center recruits and dressing them up to invade the ring, so that when the real Retribution, the real leaders, if you will, or the key members are revealed, then it seemingly won't be anyone that we've seen so far. So it could still be anyone. So the plan could have been that it was going to be Rusev. Now, obviously, if he's caught coronavirus in recent times, then that's going to put a bit of a spanner in the works. But it doesn't rule it out being that it is him, or it was going to be him, or whatever. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't know who it is. No one does at the moment. There's no reports as to who it is. Obviously, there's rumours it could be Evolve people. There's rumours that it could be a mixture of people that were let go. There's rumours that it could be underutilized talent. There's rumours it could be NXT call-ups. So plenty of rumours out there, but right now we just don't know. Match of the James says Jericho will still tweet a picture of the ratings chart tonight, even though AEW isn't on air. We've got about 15 minutes to go. Michael says maybe they'll add audio like the NBA do. Okay. That'll be interesting. I don't know how people will feel about fake crowd noises. I mean, traditionally WWE fans don't like it because the atmosphere is such a big... You see, the thing is, right, when it comes to basketball, people are going to be cheering for the Raptors because they support the Raptors, and people are going to be cheering for the other team, whoever they're facing, say the Lakers, okay? So you can kind of get away with fake noises in NBA because, I mean, you can cheer for anyone. Everyone gets supported in the NBA because they've both got fans. But in wrestling, it's so different because we support who we want. We don't have to like anyone. Do you know what I mean? So WWE putting in crowd noises is different because they're potentially telling us who we should be supporting, if that makes sense. And I'm not sure that's going to be received as well. So they're going to have to be careful with that. I'm not saying they can't do it, but I don't know. They're going to have to be careful with it because I don't think wrestling fans will respond as well as other sports. Alicia says Renee Young is leaving WWE. She is, yes. We wish her all the best, absolutely. Thanks for always supporting Days and the rest of us, Miss Clown 1. Yeah, shout out to Miss Clown 1. Days, no one has thought of this, but maybe Retribution, the leaders could be Rusev and Aiden English, and it could be the return, the reunion of Rusev Day. Could be, yeah, could be. I like the idea that Rusev, I said this just the other day, Rusev told a story just the other day about how Vince said that Rusev Day was fake, basically. We were all making fun of him. He pointed out the T-shirts had sold, and Vince was like, well, we couldn't have made enough then, could we? And apparently Vince just wasn't buying it, the fact that people were really into Rusev Day. Now, I like the idea that Rusev is actually part of Retribution, and he's told us that story so that we are fully aware why he wants Retribution. That could be his way. Not saying it is, I'm just saying it could be his way of just letting those casual fans that maybe, have only joined in the past 6 months or so, just kind of letting them know who he is and why he's angry, and why he feels like he needs Retribution. So, yeah, there's some really, really good theories out there around that. I would love for it to go that way. Days, my dad had surgery on his kidney stones. Can you say hi to me and my dad? Padraig O'Burin. Shout out to you, my friend, and shout out to your dad as well. Absolutely. I hope that everything's on the mend and on the up. I'm sure it is. Kidney stones, man, that's no joke either. So, yeah, nothing but respect to you and your dad. AEW doesn't have a backstage interviewer. Renee could go there as an interviewer. She could. WWE guy, shout out to you, my friend. Anthony says Dave Meltzer's going to be mad when he sees your tweet. It's just a joke. If he takes it serious, then he's got too much time on his hands, hasn't he? Donald says, Days, do you think it would make sense if Jason Jordan was in Retribution because WWE fired his dad, Kurt Angle? It doesn't make sense because he can't wrestle unless he's cleared. So at the moment, he's still injured, so I don't think he is going to be a part of it, if I'm being honest. What if Dolph Ziggler's in Retribution? Well, yeah, I mean, this is it, isn't it? I mean, literally anyone can be in Retribution. I think we've established that now. If there's one thing this stream has taught us, it's that anyone can be in Retribution. Even you can be in Retribution. So, we'll have to wait and see. Days, you are the best. Shout out to you, Harry. Thank you, my friend. Miss Clown 1 says, I want to see the badass, hard-hitting Shinsuke of old. Yeah, I mean, I like the fact they're doing something with him and he's not stuck in catering, so I've got to give him credit for that. So him and Cesaro as a team, I think, works well. It's kind of like the new bar, you know what I mean? So they could call themselves that, the new bar, even barier. Better bar, bar 2.0. Yeah, they're kind of like a new bar, but I do agree. I would like if they could get back to... Shinsuke being in that main event scene. Days, how bizarre was Raw? It was really bizarre, dude. It was very, very strange. NXT have just copied when Undertaker put fire in Paul Bearer's face, but it would be funny if he came out looking like a mummy like Paul did. Days, what do you think would have happened to Dolph Ziggler's career if he beat Goldberg at last year's SummerSlam? Nothing different. Nothing would have changed. Nothing. it would have been exactly the same. I very much think that Dolph is a utility guy. I think he's kind of always been seen as a utility guy. I think Dolph did get some really great support, and it kind of convinced them to give him Money in the Bank and have him cash it in and have a world title run. But since then, he's just been used in like intercontinental title pictures. If someone needs a tag partner, if they've got someone that's been called up that needs breaking in on the main roster, if do you know what I mean? He's just been used like that. So yeah, he kind of got a reward, if you will, a big singles match against the Legend at SummerSlam. But nothing would have changed if he had beaten him. I don't think that they would have all of a sudden started investing in him and pushing him forward and all of this. So no, sadly, I think he's just a utility guy, and he's still going to get opportunities, and he's still going to get titles in the future if he sticks around. And why wouldn't he stick around? Do you know what I mean? But do I see him being a champion in the future? I don't. I think that boat has sailed, unfortunately. Do you think Cedric is going to help MVP? I would hope not, because I feel like that would be a very quick story that they're trying to tell. Like, literally, they planted that seed on Monday. Do you know what I mean? Of MVP just having a word. And then even after he had that word, Cedric still came down and pinned Shelton to become the 24/7 champ. So it seemed like Cedric hadn't listened because he went against MVP and actually got the 24/7 title off Shelton. So if they're now going to try and tell the story that he's joined MVP, I don't know. I wouldn't be on board with it. I kind of feel like in order for that story to work, you need to have told this story for a long, long time. Actually put some doubts in Cedric's mind. This would feel very rushed. So that means WWE definitely are going to do it. Days, who do you want to see as the North American champ? I don't even know who's in it, if I'm being honest. Let me have a look and see who's in the match. Because I think there's, 4 people in it at the moment? Takeover 30. Let's have a look. Obviously, there's 2 spots left tonight. So, we've got Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, Cameron Grimes, and then it's either Johnny or Ridge or Balor or Dream. I think it needs to go to a newcomer. So, not Balor, not Dream, not Gargano. For me, it's either Reed, Priest, Grimes, or Holland. I think it's too soon for Ridge Holland, so rule him out. So for me, it's Reed, Priest, or Grimes. It could be a triple threat, actually. Triple threat for the North American Championship. I know a lot of people will say, well, I don't think anyone wants Dream at the moment because it's all it doesn't feel quite right with the Dream, does it? So a lot of people would say Balor. I can understand that. Johnny, he's had it before. Does he need it again? I feel like Johnny's like main event. He doesn't need to be North American champion. He just needs to have some great feuds. I don't think he needs the belt. Johnny's a made man. Do you know what I mean? Johnny's like Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant never needed the title. Andre the Giant wasn't multiple-time WWE champion because he was a made man. Whenever he came in, it's Andre. Do you know what I mean? It's Andre. Andre didn't need the belt. And I kind of feel that way about Johnny. Johnny doesn't need it. Johnny is NXT in many ways. NXT for me is either Johnny Gargano or Adam Cole. Like that is NXT. So he's had great matches, 5-star matches. Just give him some killer feuds. He doesn't need this belt. So for me, the belt would help Reed, Priest, or Grimes, and I think they'll go with Grimes. I think they're quite hot with Grimes. Who do I want to have it? I don't really care. If I'm being honest, that sounds really bad, but I was really into Bronson Reed, but he hasn't really done a great deal to impress me in recent times. Damian Priest, I think, is good on promos. I think he's got a good look. Maybe I'd give it to him, but he's not setting the world on fire. Cameron Grimes rubs me up the wrong way, but in a good way, in a heel way, in a way that I would like to see him get beaten up. He's doing a good job at being a heel. So Cameron Grimes is cool. Damian Priest's cool. Bronson Reed I was hot on, but kind of lost his way a little. So Yeah, one of them. I don't think there was an answer there. You're welcome. I don't think I answered your question. I think I said a lot of words. Damian Priest is amazing, says Jake. Days, wouldn't you have to think that something big will happen at SummerSlam if they're doing the Thunderdome and having fans? Well, yes and no. I kind of think that people are going to tune in to see the Thunderdome and to see the virtual fans. And I think that's the big draw. I don't know that... I think they want fans. They just want fans. Not even to do anything big. I think they just want fans. And seeing what baseball has done and basketball has done, I think they're just kind of moving with the times. So I don't know that they're bringing it back to do a big shocking moment. I think they're bringing it back to add intrigue and to change the feel of the show. I mean, they're talking about pyro and lasers and drone cameras and all this kind of stuff. So I think they're doing it so that it's going to help SummerSlam get more people to tune in to SummerSlam. That's my honest opinion. I don't know they're doing it because they're bringing CM Punk back or something like that. Let me in. Hope the Fiend wins. Days, it's sad how Vince sees wrestlers like Dolph, Punk, Ambrose. They were talented, but he wastes them because they either get injured or he just didn't see it. Yeah, that's true. Cameron Grimes has been to Button Moon. I love Button Moon. Do you think if Finn Balor wasn't injured, he would have had a successful Universal Championship reign? Yes, I do. I think that injury is the worst thing that's ever happened to him because he finally got to the mountaintop. He was the first ever Universal Champ. And I don't think they were making him the first ever Universal Champ to take that title off him quickly. I think that he was going to have some great matches, some great feuds. I don't know where it would have ultimately led him. Depends how that run would have gone. But that injury definitely derailed his momentum. And he seemingly couldn't quite get it back after. So, yeah, real shame. Do you think AEW should have their own developmental brand? They've kind of got a developmental brand. I mean, they've got all the indies. You know, they're getting people from the NWA. They're getting people from, like, MLW. They're getting people from Impact. Like, you could say they're the developmental brands for AEW. I don't know that they need a dedicated developmental brand. I think it's probably more beneficial for them to get names that are established, that have got fans. It's probably better for them to get them from Impact and AEW because they've got a billionaire backing them, so they can afford it. Do you know what I mean? Like, just keep doing what they're doing. It's working. They're going to struggle to get, like, massive names. They're going to have to make massive names. I mean, I suppose they could go to UFC and get people like Cormier or people like that, but we'll have to see. I think what they've done so far has worked. I just don't think they're very good at using the talent, if I'm being honest. I don't think they've got the most out of Brody Lee. I don't think the Dark Order's a very good group. So I liked their vignettes, but I think the whole thing got derailed, and Brody Lee just hasn't really worked. I mean, he was going after the title, and then he fell short, and he seemingly just gave up. Do you know what I mean? It was very strange. And then, like, Brian Cage came in and had a shot at the title quite early, and now I don't know what they're doing with him. They kind of bring people in on a fanfare, and then very, very quickly it all settles down. I mean, Matt Hardy just isn't seemingly as big a deal. Do you know what I mean? Like, Matt Hardy, that was a big deal when he first arrived. That was huge. Now it just doesn't feel quite as big. I don't know. So I kind of feel like they're quite good at booking Cody. I think they're good at booking Cody. I think they're quite good at booking the Young Bucks and Kenny and Hangman. But I think they struggle with a few other people. I think Moxley's been booked quite well. I'll give them credit for Moxley. Can I put AEW in timeout? Time them out. time them out. Right, here we are, NXT. We have got Johnny Gargano. We've actually got the belt suspended above the ring. And we've got ladders. So, obviously, the winner of this is going into the ladder match. Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae are coming out. All right, let's change the graphics on screen now. I think Drew is going to walk out champion. Right, let's get... Johnny's come down with Candice. This is going to be a big, big opportunity for Ridge Holland. A big opportunity for Ridge Holland. Renee Young isn't going to go to AEW. I think she wants to focus on her cookbook. Other people have said this. She could go. Depends what gets offered. Depends what gets offered. And I think if she's offered a decent amount, then I think that she would go. And she's a brilliant broadcaster. You've got to think that AEW will offer. Gargano versus Holland. I'm really hot on Holland. I really like Holland. Okay, so Johnny has come down. He's in the ring. He's got really nice white jacket on. Here's Ridge Holland, and I'm really hot on Ridge Holland. He looks really smart. He's got a really good Peaky Blinders kind of a gimmick. I don't like his entrance music. It doesn't seem to fit for me. If it is based on Peaky Blinders, then they need to go a little bit more that way with like Nick Cave kind of a vibe, and you don't... Because everything is Peaky Blinders. Even the way they've written Ridge Holland on the screen behind is Peaky Blinders. But the music, not so much. So, but I do like it. I like his ring attire as well. It's kind of looks like cobbled streets. It's kind of got like a cobbled street effect, like a brick effect. So, yeah, it's kind of cool. He's got a nice jacket on as well. He's got a great look. Apparently, WWE are very high on him. This should be a very interesting match. It's definitely a match that Johnny Gargano should win. Because Johnny is someone that's has obviously got a lot of experience. He can put talent over, but you don't have to like lose to put talent over. Just have a really good competitive match. The fact this is opening the show makes me think they're going to give this about half an hour. They're going to give this a good chunk of time. And yeah, we're going to see Johnny Gargano and Ridge Holland hopefully put on a bit of a classic to open up the show. So I like the fact that they've got the title suspended and it's not just on the plinth. I like the fact that they've got the ladders set up as well. So obviously, you know, it just gives people a visual as to what they can expect this weekend at TakeOver 30. Okay, cool. What do you think would happen if Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens would return to NXT? I think it would really help NXT. I think that's exactly what NXT needs. I think they need
William Hensey is a legend. Power. They donated $10 via Super Chat.
Shout out to you, William.
Heart, clapping hands, at All Elite Wrestling is in chat. Welcome, Tony. Heart, thumbs up.
Yeah, I can see people saying AEW are with us. I would reserve judgment as to whether it's the real AEW or not, but either way. We're going to carry on with this as Johnny Gargano gets into the ring, crossbody, caught by Ridge Holland. Big kick coming in by Johnny. Stomp onto the arm by Johnny as well. As we said, Ridge Holland has got a very impressive look about him. Johnny getting back into the ring. Uppercut. Oh, something just came out of his mouth. It looked like a tooth. Just came flying out. In fact, he is checking. Was that a tooth? I don't know if he has just knocked a tooth out of Johnny Gargano. He's checking his mouth. I don't know if it was spit or if it was actually a tooth or not, but something just went flying. It might have just been spit. But he's definitely checking his mouth. Man, if that'll be... I hope it's... Wow, I don't know what I want. I don't want it to be a tooth. But something just went flying. Do you think NXT TakeOver 30 will be at the Amway? No, it won't be at the Amway. Days, I suggest you rewatch SummerSlam 2018 this Thursday because it's SummerSlam this Sunday. And also, what a SummerSlam it was from Dolph versus Rollins to Becky turning heel. Okay. Right, Johnny down, Ridge grabbing a hold of Johnny. Elbows coming in by Johnny. Elbow again by Johnny. Kick coming in. Working on the arm. Ridge Holland going down. It's some lovely work this by Johnny Gargano. Ridge Holland backed into the corner. Nice strike coming in by Johnny. And again, some good forearms coming in. And he's driven Ridge Holland back. Nice uppercut coming back by Ridge Holland. As we said, it's not wise for Johnny to go toe-to-toe from a strength point of view. Johnny going over to the ropes. And Candice looking quite concerned on the outside. Nice forearm strike across the back by Ridge Holland. Ridge Holland as well, not wrestling in... knee pads, which is kind of like old school, kind of adds to the fact that he's tough, you know? Doesn't need knee pads, doesn't need elbow pads. I think he's a former rugby player, actually. I know he's from got a sports background. Days, did you see the picture of Dominic's attire? It looked like it had a crown on. I wonder if we will get Prince Mysterio. What happened to AEW? They're on Saturday. They've moved. They should be tonight, but their show has moved due to, I think, the NBA. Nice through the ropes. In between the ladders goes Johnny Gargano, and Ridge Holland goes down. Imagine if Retribution is a way of bringing the Forgotten Sons back to TV. That would be amazing. Right, we are at commercial break. I just said what happened to AEW. Right, so we are underway with this first match. Winner of this will go to the ladder match. Of course, as well, tonight we've got Finn Balor versus Velveteen Dream. How do you watch NXT on the internet? Well, you need to... It's on BT Sport. I think it's on USA Network in America, which... I don't know. Do you have to pay for USA Network? I don't know. I don't know how it actually works in America. I tweeted to P. Okay, cool. Days, what do you think about WWE moving out of the PC? I think it's a really positive step. Do you think Asuka will be Asuka 2 belts? No, I think she'll beat Sasha. No, she'll beat Bayley. She's facing Bayley first and then she'll lose to Sasha. I think Ridge should win because the NXT North American title match is a way of building new NXT stars. Yes and no. I think that there's different ways of building stars, and someone like Ridge that's new, I don't think really should be beating the likes of Johnny Gargano straight away. I think that's going to take a lot of work. That's going to take a lot of figuring out. Johnny Gargano is the mountaintop. As I was saying in the build towards this, you've got Ridge, who's new, and he's definitely one for the future. Someone that they see potential in. But Johnny is Mr. NXT, and so is Adam Cole. You can't come in and beat them straight away, you know? So I think it's really important that they take their time with Ridge Holland, build him up, really give him some vignettes, some interesting promos, get his character across, and just take the slow road. There's really no rush. Why put him in and put the title on him straight away? Especially when you've got someone like Cameron Grimes that's been around for months and months and months, who's already established. We've seen him many, many times. So he would be a better person to put the title on. So I think you could put Johnny into that match. So Johnny could win here. It would put a little bit of star power in that match. Whoever wins out of Finn and Velveteen is going to add star power to the match as well. And then, yeah, interesting. Interesting where we go. Lesnar versus Gargano. I don't see it happening. What do you think will happen between Adam Cole and Pat McAfee? I think things are going to be said. Things are going to be said between the two of them. WWE or AEW? I think they're back and forth. I think most weeks we've scored AEW higher. But, you know, there's other weeks where NXT has been scored higher. I think both have got strengths. I think both have got weaknesses. There's no denying that AEW wins when it comes to the ratings. I think they've got a few things that they could have some quick fixes with. And, yeah, I think it's an interesting war. It's definitely an interesting Wednesday night war. But it's going to be interesting to see what NXT's ratings are going to be like tonight without AEW around. And see, you know, all of those people that would normally tune into AEW, will they tune in to NXT instead? So, don't know, watch this space, we'll have to see. It's going to be interesting tomorrow when those scores come out. Days, what are we going to watch tomorrow? There'll probably be a poll, dude. There'll probably be a poll. Would you like to see a female wrestler from WWE win a male belt? I don't mind it as long as it's done well. I don't mind it as long as it's... I mean, like, the 24/7 title, I don't mind. We've had females that have won that. That's kind of... It's not really a male belt or a female belt, is it? But do I want to see, like, a female beating Karrion Kross? Or a female beating Drew McIntyre? No, not really. These are guys that are at the absolute peak of physical conditioning. You know, all they do is train and fight, and I would really struggle to see any woman in WWE be able to get past just the size and the power that they possess. You know, I'm not saying they're not technically as good, but I'm just saying that they're you know, Brock Lesnar, for example, is like former UFC heavyweight champ. I would find it hard to believe any female could beat him when you've got a lot of males that are struggling. So I think it can be done, but it's got to be done right. Nice move by Ridge Holland, who spun Johnny Gargano around. He plants Johnny down. I love it when they do that as well. He pushes Johnny's face over. It's just a little touch, but it's a little sign of disrespect. So he manages to go for the pin, but as he does it, he just knocks Johnny's head to the side. It's very interesting. Very, very good. I'm cool if Asuka would beat Drew. I just don't see that. I mean, I'm a big Asuka fan, but I just don't think it's realistic. Forearm strike. I think in a legit fight, does Asuka legitimately beat Drew McIntyre? I don't think she does. This is NXT tonight, says Sean Reset. Days, will you stream Dynamite on Saturday? We are doing boxing and UFC. If it wasn't on at the same time as those, then I absolutely would. Check Finn Balor's Twitter and see the picture that he's tweeted out for his match. Oh, I've seen it. It's him with a trash bag, isn't it? I saw that. Days, who is your favourite WWE wrestler? Asuka. Nice shoulder tackle, and Johnny goes out the ring. He's down at the feet of Candice LeRae. Days, you missed the Gargano bump. I've just seen that one where he's gone flying out the ring and he's down at the feet of Candice. Candice has got some sparkly footwear on. Candice is having a word with the ref as well. Why does AEW have a big red X? Just because it's not on tonight. And I didn't have time to make a new thumbnail. It was literally half an hour before I was setting the stream up. I was like, oh, I can't use this thumbnail because AEW are not, they're not on tonight. So I just had to put an X on it. Jerry, shout out to you. Candice grabbing the leg of Ridge Holland. Low blow by Gargano is going to put him in the driving seat as he goes up, looking for the DDT. He's going to go for the cover. 1, 2. Johnny Gargano wins. I think it's the right result. I would have given that match 10 more minutes. Do you remember when we had Candice against Mia Yim in that street fight to start NXT? They absolutely battered each other, and it was a really great match. I would have done a long match. I know you couldn't have used weapons because this was a normal wrestling match, but maybe it's just so stacked tonight they couldn't really afford to go too long. But it was a good little match anyway, and Ridge Holland only lost because of Candice interfering outside. Days, can we put SummerSlam 20? Oh, I don't know, dude. I'm not focused on that at the moment. I'm very focused on what's happening with this. So far, AEW 7.3. Yeah, I think it's fair to say that NXT is going to be winning tonight. Johnny getting up to his feet. That one dropped Johnny on his head. They did just show a replay of it. We've got Dakota Kai in action tonight as well. Dakota Kai in action next, apparently. Days, can we... I'm not focused on that. Johnny wins. He deserves it. Days, can you hear the show? How does that work? Because I don't see you wearing headphones. I've got it turned down real low, yeah. Got it turned down real low. So I can hear it. Dakota Kai up next, yeah. Should be good. I'm a big fan of Dakota Kai. She's got a match coming up at TakeOver against Io Shirai, and that should be a lot of fun. Robin says it was a low blow, yeah. A low blow from Johnny whilst Candice held on to the leg. Days, I think Ciampa is going to come back at TakeOver 30. Keith Lee is going to defeat Cross because I don't think Cross is going to lose by pinfall or submission. Saikami says it's been a while since we've only done NXT streams. That's true. Yeah. Al says, when is Retribution going to invade NXT? I don't think they will. Chalmers says, I missed the first half of that match. It was a decent match. It was hard hitting. It was good. It was a good match. I think it pretty much went the way I thought it would go, only a little bit shorter. I honestly would have given him another 10 minutes. Did you see the upcoming promo, UFC female figures? No, I didn't. No, UFC female figures. Well, action figures. I didn't. No, that's cool. Real Deal says, I don't think Dakota Kai is going to win. Io has held the title for 2 months, and there's no signs of that letting up. Ciampa will return and cost Cross the NXT Championship. But Spark says Cross will win. I'm not sure. I'm kind of torn on it. I kind of think that Cross is good enough to get the win. I think if they want to have him win, then that's absolutely fine. But it would feel a bit too soon to take the title off Keith Lee. So, I don't know. I think you can stretch it out. I think it can be a DQ win, count out win. Karrion Kross wins by count out, doesn't get the title, sets up a rematch. I think you can stretch it. I don't know that he's going to leave as champion. I missed that one Gargano bump because my internet cut out. Amanda Nunes promo picture. Okay, cool. I'll have to check it out after. Days, you look like Phil from What Culture. Cool. I hope he's a good guy. Is he a good guy? Is he a good soul? Is his heart in the right place? That's all I need to know. Do you think they should have made the Greatest Royal Rumble a yearly thing? I don't get why they only did it once. No, I think it undermines the Royal Rumble, if I'm being honest. I think you can't do a Royal Rumble and the Greatest Royal Rumble every year. I think to do it as a one-off spectacle, I think was fine. But yeah, if you did it every year, then it would, you're devaluing the actual Royal Rumble then. Amir El Shazli says, I think Io should have a NXT Women's Championship reign like Asuka, and they should make her a heel again. Eric says, Days, what is Tegan Nox doing at TakeOver 30? If she's not on the card, I will be even more peeved that she didn't win the Triple Brand Battle Royal. Well, I think at the moment there's just the one women's match, isn't there? So I don't think she is on the card. Right. We've got Dakota Kai making her way down. Not sure who she's facing. And I'm also not sure where that Gonzalez woman has gone. Raquel Gonzalez. Why did they end putting them two together? Who's the number one contender? I'm the number one contender. Dakota Kai stepping into the ring. I'm going to guess Indy Hartwell. They seem to like... Could be... it could be a few people. Could be Casey Catanzaro. Zaya Lee or someone. Oh, it's Jessie! Oh, this is cool. We haven't seen her, have we, in a singles match? Jessie Kamea? Okay. So, Jessie is believed to have been one of the people that was dressed as Retribution. You can see that she's got purple at the end of her hair. So, she is someone that is believed to have been one of the Retribution members. She's the one that stepped into the ring. She's quite tall. She's distinctive because she's got black hair with purple at the end. I remember her when she had her previous gimmick. She used to come down as a face. And she used to wear glasses. And she used to be like a friendly nerd, in a way. She'd like be like really positive and smiley and happy. I think I might even have her autograph, you know. I might even have. Let me have a look. I'm going to see if I've got a Jessie autograph. I wanna be... Here we go. I'm sure I do. Something's telling me that I do have her autograph. And I might even have a picture of her in her previous gimmick. Can't quite tell. But that's what she used to look like. She used to wear glasses and like those are just like, they're not shades. They look like shades there, but they're not. She would have them down. She'd be like all happy and smiley as she came down. So she's actually been on the roster for quite a while. That's from last year that they did that. And I actually saw her at a house show in 2018. So she's been on the roster for a little while. Nice car, thank you. Yeah, I really liked her when I saw her. I went to a Tampa house show and saw her compete, and I was like, "Who is this woman?" To kick out. So she's been on my radar since then because I didn't know who she was. Charging over, but she's clearly changed her gimmick now. Sliding knee strike. She's looking good, actually. Picks up Dakota Kai. Ooh, slams her down. Little sloppy. 1, 2. Shoulder up by Dakota. Sonny says, I love what Dakota and Jessie are wearing. Shiny and fancy. That could be their tag team name. Shiny and fancy. Days, do you think there will be a match between Drew and Tommaso in the near future? There could be. Not the near future. I'm going to say no. Not the near future. 2, 3. There we go. Knee strike by Dakota Kai. She puts Jessie away. Little bit of back and forth. Relatively easy for Dakota Kai in the end. But, yeah, that's cool, man. It's cool that Jessie's finally made it onto TV. Dakota Kai as a heel is better. I agree. I agree. Days, maybe Cross and Lee are going to break the ring for a no contest. It's over. It is over. Okay. Dakota Kai's going to say a few words. Promo. Dakota Kai says, EO, you must be out of your mind. You think I'm afraid of you? Don't make me laugh. You're so focused on my past. But I'm focused on the future. Days, quick question. How do you stream without using the bathroom? I don't know. I just never need to. It's going to feel so good when I kick you in the face over and over. Here we go. EO's music hits. Dakota Kai has drawn a line in the ring and she's telling EO to get in. EO does get in. She takes down Dakota Kai. Some forearm strikes. She's wailing away. Dakota Kai rolls out of the ring. Kick to the leg. Charging over. Down goes Dakota. Oh, yes! Raquel Gonzalez is back! Just as we said, where has she gone? Here she is! Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. That's a nice little development. Raquel Gonzalez has come back. That's going to be potentially an X factor there, isn't it? Now Dakota Kai is not on her own. So you'd have to think that EO is going to have to deal with Dakota and Raquel Gonzalez this weekend. EO on her knees. Open palm strike. But a clothesline to the back of the head by Raquel Gonzalez. Do you imagine? Raquel Gonzalez versus Mercedes Martinez versus Ria Ripley. That would be an incredible triple threat match. That's cool, man. So, there we go. Dakota Kai is certainly not doing it on her own. Raquel Gonzalez has returned. I hope EO will retain. Well, it's really good. It's definitely going to be a tougher challenge for her now. Raquel Gonzalez is here, yeah. A huge B with a Tude match. That would be a dope triple threat. That was good, man. That was good. I do like Dakota Kai. And Raquel Gonzalez coming back, I think, is good. That would be a match I'd be very interested in seeing at TakeOver. That's probably the match I want to see the most, if I'm being honest. There's Tegan. I thought 100% EO was going to win, but now that Raquel is back, this match could go both ways. JB17 says, Days, do you think that Tegan should turn heel and join Raquel and Dakota? That's not a bad shout, but I think she's a natural face. Tegan Knox. Days, to me, NXT doesn't feel like WWE. It feels like its own promotion. Yes. Do you like Rhea Ripley? Yes. Let's go Sixers. Sixers stuck. Let's go Sixers. Sixers suck. Thunderdome this Friday. State of the art virtual experience. I'm eating Oreo ice cream. Oh, jealous. Days, sorry, Chalmers, but random question. Can you drive? If so, what car? Yes. And I don't have a car at the moment, actually. Thunderdome. Nixon Newell, WWE need for women division. Nixon is one of the best UK wrestlers. Dazzle by Nature, shout out to you, my friend. There's no AEW because of the NBA. That is correct. Jim Ackerman, hope you are well. Commercials are the best. Go Raptors. Domi. Yeah, a lot of excitement for the Thunderdome. Lot of excitement. So, yeah, really, really decent start. A really good start. I would say that the first half an hour has been very good for NXT. The NXT problems for me is that they're in a black void. I think the Full Sail looks awful. It's got no life. It's just black. Honestly, it's like wrestling in purgatory. It just needs some atmosphere. It needs some colour. It needs something. I mean, if you think about Lucha Underground and like how great that venue looks, or looked, I don't think they're carrying on anymore, are they, Lucha Underground? But that was like a venue that they were in all the time. Even like NWA with the studio setting is very retro and unique, and it gives the show some real personality. This doesn't have any personality. It's a big problem. It's a big problem they could really do with coming up with something better. Do you know what I mean? Are you going to cover WWE Evolve and WWE Progress and WWE XWW when they start shows? I don't know if they're starting shows. I don't know what the plan is. I don't know if they're just going to put on the video library or what they're going to do. Rockstar Anch says Friday is going to be amazing. Commercials are the best. Commercials #1. I want to hear Thunderstruck play when they go to the Thunderdome. But Spark says Bray knows about Limbo. That's true. Perhaps they're in Bray's, I would say his house, but we all know what his house looks like. Even Bray's house, which might be in Limbo, might be in Purgatory. Even that's got puppets and colour. I don't even know where WWE are. Have you read the rules of the Thunderdome? Yes. Days, do you like watching The Simpsons? Yes. If so, who's your favourite character? Dude, there is only one great character in The Simpsons, and it's not Homer, right? If anyone says that the best Simpsons character is anyone other than Ralph, they are lying to themselves. They are lying to themselves. Ralph is the best character. No doubt at all. I actually watched an episode last night that I hadn't seen where Bart refused to take a dare, so everyone hated him. And Ralph said, I'm going to turn my back on you, Bart. And he turned his back, but he kept going round. And as he came round, he went, hey, Bart. It was just funny, man. In the time it took him to turn his back, he forgot while he was doing it. And as he came round, he was like, oh, hey, Bart. Everything that guy does. He's my spirit animal. Ralph from The Simpsons is definitely my spirit animal. Days, who do you think is going to win, Velveteen Dream or Finn Balor? Well, I think it should be Balor because I think there's still too much heat on the Dream. Are you making a predictions video for TakeOver 30? No. Did you see Becky Lynch's tweet? It looks like she is working on a new project. Yes, a baby. I haven't seen the video, no. I don't know what she's doing. Days, what do you think is the best WrestleMania between 2015 and now? I can't remember them, if I'm being honest. They all just merge into one, I think. I remember 32 was not great. I don't want to say awful. I'll go with not great. 33 was all right. Return of the Hardys. Roman Undertaker was a bit flat, but had that emotional ending, which ended up not meaning anything. I don't know, man. I think they've all... I don't know that any of them have really stood out as great WrestleManias. Right, yes, we've got Legado del Fantasma. Legado del Fantasma versus... What are Breezango going to come out dressed as? They've come out as astronauts. They've come out as Mounties. They've come out as doctors. What are they going to come out as tonight? Days, can I get a shout out? Yes, shout out to you, MTS. Boom. Legado. It is Legado. What the F is Rao and Joaquin wearing? Yeah. What are they wearing? They do look like a street crew. I mean, it's more Joaquin Wild. Okay, here comes Breezango. I think it's just pretty standard. In fairness, they have been getting kidnapped and beaten up, so I can understand them not wanting to mess around with this one. Like, this makes sense. Fandango pointing over. Here comes Isaiah Swerve. Is this a bigger screen? No, I think it's the same screen, isn't it? That shot there made it look like a bigger screen than usual. Isaiah Swerve making his way down. They're serious. Yeah, and in all fairness, they need to be serious as well. See Wrestling says, Days, check my latest tweet where I quote tweet WWE Shop and look at the picture that they posted. I will do this for you, See Wrestling. I will do this. There's no numbers advantage tonight. No, it is 3. It is 3-on-3, isn't it? So we're about to get started with this match, and it is on. Oh, yeah. So, that's interesting. WWE Shop have tweeted out a picture of Karrion Kross with the title, and it says 20% off. And See Wrestling says, was you meant to tweet this next week? There we go. Is it a spoiler? Maybe he's decided to just buy one. Perhaps he's decided that he's not going to go after the title this week. He's not going to bother with the belt this weekend. Instead, he's just going to get 20% off one of the championships and get the NXT title that way. Escobar versus Swerve at TakeOver, please. Right, well, we are underway. We've got Mendoza in there with Fandango. Days, if you look at my profile picture, it's a picture of a beer, but it's actually from the Corona advert with Snoop Dogg. I swear, he's everywhere. I love that Just Eat advert. It's fan art. Days, the greatest Simpson character is Ralph, followed by Martin. I think Becky Lynch is writing a book. Check her Twitter post. Well, I believe you. She could be. Why not? Give her something to do. Wow, they're fighting outside the ring. Isaiah Swerve hurling. People around. Breezango super kicking Wild and... Is it Mendoza? Okay, and we've gone to commercial break. My bad, I left out the title in my last post. Toast and Me, a Study in 7 volumes. What? What is she on about? I don't know. She might be writing a book, yeah. Jadam, shout out to you. The best Simpsons character is Mike Tyson guy. Days, would you like Samoa Joe to return to being a wrestler again? Yes. Commercial again. Yeah, it is commercials. If you are fans of commercials, Wednesdays is definitely the week for you. The day for you. In fact, any wrestling show is the shows for you. They've decided to advertise Raw and not SmackDown. We got a SmackDown advert earlier. They advertised the Thunderdome. Days, did you know that Swerve is Killshot from Lucha Underground? I only found that out yesterday. I'll be honest, I never watched Lucha Underground, so that doesn't really mean a great deal to me, but I do know that he was in Lucha Underground. But I don't think they've done a very good job of making him feel huge. I feel like they've done an excellent job with Dexter Lumis, and Dexter Lumis has now gone and got injured, which is mega sad. So, yeah. Isaiah Swerve, they haven't really built him up the same way. You know, Lumis has been doing stuff with Adam Cole and Undisputed Era, and Isaiah Swerve's been in, like, the Cruiserweight tournament. So, I'd like to see them use him a bit more. There's loads I'd like to see them use a bit more. Kushida needs to be used more. Isaiah Swerve needs to be used more. The title of the thing is weird. It is weird. I don't know what... She might be writing a book. I don't know. She might be trolling. You know what she's like. Kahan says, I am in the Thunderdome. Amazing. Days, why is there no AEW? They're on Saturday. Is Thunderdome free? I think so. I'm not sure. Days, the best Simpsons people are Ralph and Molman. Yeah, Molman's cool. Can you and Triple T tell us wrestling ghost stories? I don't know any, if I'm being honest. Jake says Swerve is incredible. I agree. Days, what if Aleister Black comes back and his new gimmick during the Seth Dominic match? Maybe. He could. I can't say I don't see that happening, if I'm being honest. But he could. I don't know that he'll have a new gimmick. The Thunderdome is not going to fix WWE. Vince will still continue to give us bad shows until he retires and gives the company to Shane or Triple H. Do you think Becky is watching Raw and SmackDown each week? Yeah. Yeah, I do. I think it's her work. I think it's important for her to keep... I don't know if she's watching it live, but she needs to keep up to date because, you know, people will ask her, what does she think of this? What does she think of that? She needs to know what she's coming back to. Yeah, I mean, she's a fan of wrestling. Do you know what I mean? So, and obviously Seth's on it as well. She's going to want to see what Seth's up to. And maybe watch and see how things are being presented. Maybe look at social media and seeing how things are being received. I should imagine that's really interesting. If I was in WWE and I was out injured, I would want to I gotta be honest, I would want to jump on a stream like this. I would want to jump onto a stream, get that live reaction from people, look at Twitter. I would want to see, what are the fans saying? What do the fans want? What are the fans complaining about? I'd want that feedback. So, yeah, I think definitely she is watching. I don't know that she's watching this. And certainly not watching us. But if you are, hi, Becky. Hope you're well. I always preferred Ronda. 1, 2, kick out by Fandango. I would say Becky in ring return at SummerSlam 2021, says Wrestling Days fan. Brendan says Becky Lynch, the man, Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt, the Fiend. Jeff says, how many figures do you have? I don't know. It's around the 1,000 mark when you add in Hasbro and the few Jacks that I've got and ones in boxes and yeah, all of those. I've got a couple of like LJNs and whatever. But I honestly don't know. I haven't counted. Wild looks like a street jazz dancer that likes to impress the women. Is that a bad thing to look like? If I was going to look like summer, I'd also want to look like a street jazz dancer that's trying to impress the women. Fandango in trouble in the ring with Mendoza. Mendoza going over. Fandango in the corner. Do you think Asuka will be on the chat with us to talk about wrestling? When? When? What? In here? No. Days, Aleister Black's recent Instagram posts are hinting at gimmick change. Okay, cool. As long as he gets pushed. And as long as he's not called Shorty B or anything like this, you know? Do you think Triple H would complain to Steph about how Vince is burying his NXT stars? Not complain. Share his frustrations behind closed doors, yes. But not complain in the sense of, can you have a word and do something for me? I don't think that's happening. Was never a fan of Ronda. Had a fragile ego that was comparable to Kevin Durant. Oof, up over the top to the outside. Colliding into the ring post. Swerve comes in. I think that's a really interesting point you just made, actually, because I can definitely see that. Clothesline. But I just think she's so legit that she was... I mean, was she the best in ring when it came to pro wrestling? No. She wasn't, but she's so legit. And she's such a big name. And she definitely brought eyes to the product. And she definitely helped WWE. Nice work by Isaiah Swerve. It's a decent match. I just find these matches really dull. You see these matches all the time. This fast-paced, big spot after big spot. It's the kind of thing you see all the time on AEW. It's the kind of thing you see the Lucha House Party doing. It's the kind of thing that the Street Profits do. It's just, I don't know. It doesn't do it for me anymore. We see it too much now. I hated Ronda with a passion and still do, says Match of the James. Connor, TWF, shout out to you, my friend. Who is winning? I don't know. Maybe the fans. I should imagine a lot of people are into it. Drop kick to the back of the head. Springboard drop kick. Isaiah Swerve made the tag to Tyler Breeze, but he goes down out of the ring. We're about 10 minutes away from the halfway point. Isaiah Swerve up on the shoulders of Santos. Santos picked up, planted down. No, he's not the legal man. Isaiah Swerve is not the legal man. That's good. He's not legal. But they're attacking him. Knee strike. So Isaiah Swerve has been beaten up. I do like that. I like the fact that he's not the legal man and the ref has made sure everyone knows it. Big strikes by Tyler Breeze. Clothesline. Another clothesline. Up over the top rope. Breeze down in the middle of the ring. In comes Santos. Up on the shoulders. Oh! 1, 2, 3. There we go. Escobar gets the pin with a driver. And Phantasma win. That was amazing, says Chalmers. Great move. Dazzle by Nature. Shout out to you, dude. Days AEW's Unrivaled Ones are due to be in Smith's by next month. Okay. Okay, Phantasma picking up the victory. Are you excited for the Thunderdome? And what are your thoughts on it? Do you think it will succeed in the long run or be a huge failure? I don't think it'll be a huge failure. I don't see how having fans in will be a failure. The only thing I question is the sound, because seemingly WWE are going to have to pipe in fake crowd noises, and I don't think that's going to sit well with WWE fans. So I've got some concerns on that front. In regard to the lasers, the entrance, the change of venue, it can only be a positive. I think we'll get used to it, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I think it's going to give them a nice bump in ratings for SmackDown. I think everyone's tuning in for SmackDown to see what it looks like. And I think people are going to tune into SummerSlam as well. So depends how you want to judge it being a success or a failure. My prediction is that it's going to work well for ratings. It's going to add something to SummerSlam. There's going to be a few question marks about the crowd noise. I'm on board with it. Yeah, I think it's definitely worth doing. And I think the pictures that we've seen so far look cool. Will you apply to the Thunderdome? No. Breezango needs to regain some momentum. No, I can't apply to the Thunderdome because you're not allowed to stream at the same time. So, Breezango needs to regain some momentum, yes. Have you seen my DM on Instagram? No, my friend. I rarely go onto Instagram. On the list of social media sites, Instagram is like near the bottom. I think Facebook is the bottom. But Instagram is next up. Do you think people would love Shinsuke as a face with his old legendary theme? Yeah, people would take to him as a face, yeah. I can't see any reason why not. Days, maybe the whole interactive fan thing is going to be glitched by Retribution. I can see that happening. Yep, I can see that happening. We are 7 minutes away from the halfway point. 7 minutes away from the halfway point. So keep your eyes peeled. Days, if John Cena brings back the NWO, who would you pick to be in it? I don't think he will. I think he'd be with Bray. Keep your eye peeled for the next commercial break is what I was going to say. Because we will do halftime scores then. In regards to John Cena, NWO, I think if he comes back, he needs to be with Bray. I think the NWO thing was just a way of saying that he's turned heel, like Hogan. Bray gave him his heel moment that he was always afraid to do. Cena was scared to be a heel and lose that popularity. And Bray made him kind of confront that. But I don't think it's that Cena's bringing the NWO back or anything like this. If you ever get a chance to read it, it was about action figures. Okay, cool. Thank you, Jacob. Shout out to you. Days, is Finn Dream the main event? I would think so, yes. Days, what socials do you use the most? YouTube. I try to read the comments. I do reply to some, but I don't reply to all that many, if I'm being honest, because I kind of said everything I need to say in the videos, if you know what I mean. So people getting their points across in the comment section. It's just interesting to have a read, but I don't tend to fire replies back, but I certainly do have a read through. So I spend a bit of time doing that. I spend most of my time on Twitter and try to respond to tweets. Obviously, that gets harder. Like, the more tweets and comments and things you get, it gets harder to get to. I've got quite a few emails that I always have to respond to. And then after that, I would say it's maybe Instagram, but I'm very rarely on there. And then Facebook probably below that. Days, what if Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam comes out and Braun Bray, she helps them win? I can see her playing a part, yes. I can see her playing a part. NFL teams, we don't have it. I have never seen the NFL on TV over here. I've never been to a game. I've never watched a game. I don't know anything about the NFL. It's NHL. NFL we have. In fact, there's a whole channel dedicated to it for next season here in the UK. It's got its own channel now. So that's a big deal over here. I'd say out of all the sports, American football, American sports, American football is the biggest in the UK, probably followed by basketball. But ice hockey just does not feature. NXT Tag Team Championship #1 contenders match next week. So Legado del Fantasma. Oh, hang on, not next week. This is on the pre-show. So Del Fantasma, Breezango, Oney, Lorcan, and Danny Burch. Okay, here comes Adam Cole. Bum, bum, banana. Can I just say something on this, right? Because I do hate this feud, and that is very well documented. Right now, Undisputed Era are making their way down to the ring, okay? And the crowd are booing. The Performance Center recruits are booing, okay? So Adam Cole is currently being presented to us as a heel. So Adam Cole is being presented as a heel. He's come out. The Performance Center recruits are booing. And you might remember, was it last week he got involved in a match? Like a match was happening, he came down and he actually beat people up. Okay, and the reason why I say this is because Pat McAfee actually tweeted out earlier today. He says, if you want me to be on NXT, then I will be. I'm more than happy to dominate the roster and get in the minds of the fans or something. So Pat McAfee is also positioning himself as a heel. Just doesn't make any sense. I can't find a single thing about this feud I like. Not one thing. Nothing. This is why they need real crowds back. I'm trying to find his actual quote. If I can find it. It's one of them where I saw it and just straight away I just clicked off. But enough of it went in. Yeah, I probably won't be able to find it. Oh, I don't know. I've already... face, heel. Face versus face and heel versus heel isn't that bad, to be honest. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you want to see heel versus heel? Who are you meant to root for? Well, I know who you're meant to root for. Ronda reminds me a lot of Lesnar. They were both in UFC. Both have big egos. not the best at wrestling. I would disagree. Lesnar's a former NCAA wrestling champion. Has had some great matches in the past. Hated by the universe. Both make it feel legit, both are part-timers. I can see that there's a lot of similarities, but Lesnar can wrestle. Lesnar can wrestle. Dace, do you think we fans have lost a golden chance as we probably won't get Taker versus Fiend? Do I think you've lost a golden chance? Maybe. I don't think it would have been a great match, but I think seeing them face to face, well, you could still get Undertaker appearances. He's going to be under contract for a long, long time, so I think you will get the Undertaker being attacked by the Fiend at some point in the future. But yeah, you've probably been robbed of the match, if that makes sense. Wrestling Days fan says Brock is a great wrestler. Days, Finn Balor's new finisher is the stink face. Amazing. We've read this one. The Rock versus Stone Cold, WrestleMania 37. I don't think they'll do it. Jeff says, I'm excited for the Thunderdome. I'm excited for the next commercial break so that we can get the halftime scores. I'm so late and always are. Can you please tell me what has happened so far, asks Connor. Yeah, we've had first match, Gargano and Holland. Gargano getting the win thanks to outside interference by Candice LeRae. After that, we had Dakota Kai taking on Jessie, who I don't think we've seen Jessie before, but we did have Dakota Kai against Jessie. And Dakota Kai picked up the victory. Raquel Gonzalez coming back. After that, we got Isaiah Swerve and Breezango against Legado del Fantasma. Legado del Fantasma picking up the win. And now we've got Adam Cole and Pat doing promos in the ring. Thunderdome is going to be awesome. Let's hope that Vince gives us a good show or Thunderdome will fail. Days, have you played Fall Guys on PS4? It's awesome. No, but everyone's playing it, isn't it? It's kind of like the on-trend game right now, this Fall Guys thing. I've seen everyone playing it. Because he is a legend. Undertaker, Kane versus New Day. Renee Young leaving WWE. Yes, Connor, thank you. You are the best. You're welcome. You are welcome. Right, still to come, we have got Ria Ripley and Shotzi Blackheart taking on Mercedes Martinez and Aliyah. And I think the main event is going to be Finn Balor versus Velveteen Dream. And I'm not sure what else we've got, because we've only got, 57 minutes. They're going to need something more than that. I've seen rumours that there's going to be something to do with Keith Lee and Karrion Kross. I mean, there's going to have to be something. That's seemingly the main event. So, yeah, there's going to need to be some kind of build there, but I don't know what it's going to be. I should imagine that we'll get Scarlett coming down with some kind of timepiece. Toy hunts were fun. What happened, asks Samantha. Yeah, they were cool. The COVID happened. That's what happened. The pandemic hit the world. Why is Renee leaving? She hasn't said. Don't know. I should imagine it's because she's not being used. She was on backstage and the show got cancelled, didn't it? So we were saying beforehand, there's just not. They haven't used her. They haven't used her in any way. So. Hidden YouTuber says, Days, do you think WWE would one day book Brock versus Fiend? And even if they do, will Vince allow Fiend to beat Brock clean as Goldberg has beaten Fiend so easily? I don't know. That's so far in the future. They could do Brock versus Fiend, yes, but I think we've got a way to go until we even get to that. Shotzi and Tegan are my favourite stars in WWE, says Eric. No one is safe on NXT, says Rated R Wrestling. How is Mama Days, says Angelo. Good. Yeah, she's all right, man. She's all right. Days, I'm going to leave the stream. I'm tired and I'm just not that bothered about NXT. It's getting boring, says JS17. Yeah, I do feel that. Right, up next, we've got Aliyah and Mercedes Martinez taking on Ria Ripley and Shotzi Blackheart. And commercial breaks to get your halftime scores in. What do you score, NXT? What do you score, NXT? Get your thoughts in for NXT. We are at the halfway point. Halftime score, says Chalmers, 7.25. Greg, shout out to you, dude. Halftime scores, yep, 7.25 from Chalmers, 7.75 from John, 8 from Bembo, 6, 7 from Brony, 7.5 from Future Compilations, 7 from Lauren, 1 from Vape Ross Vape, 4 from Damon, 8, 6, 6, 7. Quite a few 7s coming in. 5.5 from Nando, 4, 3, 7.5 from LSW, 7.75, 7, 3 from Vape Ross Vape. Kennedy says 1 out of 12. It's just not good. 7.5. We want Sarah Logan, says Rated R. 8.5 from Sean Musette. Connor gives it a 3. We've got a lot of 7s, but we've got a 3s and 4. I've got to say that I think the average is around about a 6 something at the moment. A couple of 8s coming in. There is a 9. 8.75 from Sandman, but a 3 from Connor. A 1. A 1 from Texas Rangers fan 18, who joins us all the time. Nightmare's mum gives it a 6. Yeah, I'm getting the vibe that the scores are kind of around the... I don't think NXT are knocking this out of the park by any means. I feel like the start was okay, but it's just kind of gone very... So, yeah. Don't know. Considering they don't have AEW to compete against, I'm not sure that they're setting the world on fire here. 1987 Big Fan gives it a 5. Harry gives it a 6.5. Mr. Kool-Aid 2 says the tag match was great, so gives it a 9. 8, 9, 8.75, 8, 7. Minus 213 out of 10 says Match of the James. Your boy Yoshi gives it a 7. That's got to be an AEW person that gives this a 1. Brony says this show has been kind of dull. To whom was asking, Phantasma's 1. See Wrestling gives it an 8. Christian says too many people are hating on NXT. 1 is ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know where I am. It's kind of interesting to get a gauge from the chat, and I think there's a few 1s, 3s, 5s, definitely some 7 and 8s in there, but I feel like the average is around about a 6.5, 6.75, but let's see what they've got for the next 50 odd minutes. We do have an interesting women's match coming up. Rhea Ripley and Shotzi Blackheart taking on Mercedes Martinez and Aliyah. And Robert Stone making his way out. Okay. Mercedes and Aliyah versus Ripley and Shotzi. Mercedes Martinez looks cool, man. I do like her look. She's a good future star. I mean, she's not... I say future star because I think she could go to the main roster and be like Raw or SmackDown champion. I mean, she's got a great look. I love her entrance attire. And she can really do it in the ring as well. She's such a legend. It's weird putting her in the Robert Stone brand, but it did make sense. She was saying, I just want to hurt people. I don't want to have to deal with negotiations and stuff like this. So it's kind of cool. And it's great for Aliyah as well. Aliyah gets to stand next to her and just look cool. So I am into this story. Days, I could see you in a match with Cameron Grimes. Robert Stone, suit. No, socks. We always point this out. It's very disappointing. Fashion disaster 1.0. Here's Shotzi with her tank. Of course, she's got her ring attire back. There she is. Dace, would you like to see a match between Aleister Black and The Fiend? Would I like to see a match between Aleister Black and The Fiend? Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind. I think it's just got to be good stories, hasn't it? I mean, at the moment, I feel like he's got to go after Randy Orton at some point. I know Orton's on a different brand, but should The Fiend really care about that? Orton has got to be top of the list. Here comes Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley. It's had really good 2020. I know a lot of people will say it's been a bad 2020 because she obviously lost the NXT Women's Championship, but she was NXT Women's Champ. She had a match at WrestleMania. Not only that, I regard it as the best match. She's had the best match at WrestleMania this year. This is a great year for Rhea Ripley. Now she's come back. She's got different hairstyles. She's being used all the time on NXT. She's one of the top female talents that they've got. She's still young. I think she's about 22, 23. She's a big, big future star. I don't like Shotzi too much too soon, in my opinion. Rhea throwing her jacket. Days, why not have The Fiend versus Randy Orton at Survivor Series? Why not have The Fiend Randy Orton at Survivor Series? They could do. I wouldn't want them to do it because they've got to do it, because it'd be like champion versus champion, but I suppose they could, because I do think that Orton will be champion by that point, and I do think Fiend will as well. That'll be big. That will be big. You might have called it there. That could be the first time we see them go against each other. Right, Aliyah in the ring. She gets sent on in the back by Shotzi. Oh yeah, the virtual meet and greets as well. We never spoke about them. WWE are doing virtual meet and greets. Tickets are available now, but apparently Bayley's has sold out. So it's $125. You get to talk to a superstar for 2 minutes, and then you get to keep the video after. I don't think that's a bad price. I've seen people complaining. I genuinely don't think it's a bad price, because a 30-second cameo video clip from Alexa Bliss is like $400, £330. Same with Charlotte, $300. So $125 to actually talk for 2 minutes. I should imagine, ask them whatever you want. 2 minutes. I know it's not a lot of time, but man, if you're a huge Bayley fan, that's cool, isn't it? That is cool. You can actually talk to Bayley and have the video recorded, and it'll be sent to you after. So they're doing it for Drew, Seth, Bayley, Keith Lee, and Braun Strowman. Could you imagine if they were doing it for The Fiend? Imagine if they were doing it for The Fiend. You wouldn't get any answers unless it was like, what's your catchphrase? And he'd say yowie wowie. And then you'd be like, how are the puppets? And he'd probably just tilt his head or something. And then you'd be like, thank you. Thank you for your time. Or Dexter Lumis. Dexter Lumis would just stare at you for 2 minutes. That would not be a great way to spend $125. Vape Ross Vape says, the thing is, if we don't watch AEW live and they fail wrestlers and fans lose, we lose choice. They lose jobs and Vince eats your soul. Vote Vape Ross Vape 2020. More time than a cameo and less expensive in some cases, so I do think it's worth it. Yeah, I just saw a few people saying like that it wasn't worth it, and I was kind of thinking, well, compared to a cameo, it probably is, you know, probably is. I'd love to chat to Bayley for a couple of minutes. I'd say to her, like, I think your heel turn's been amazing. I think you're doing an awesome job. I don't know what I'd ask her. What would I ask Bayley? Don't know what I'd ask her. You know someone's going to knock one out when Bayley rings them, aren't they? What do you mean? Like, gonna punch someone? I don't think they will. Dexter has delivered some good cameo videos. Oh no, I'm sure he would. As Sam Shaw would. But I meant the Dexter character. He doesn't talk, does he? Whenever he's done a promo backstage, he's drawn a picture and just held. Maybe you'd do that for you. Maybe you'd ask him a question and he'd just quickly draw you a picture. I don't know. But yeah, as a person, I mean, I really like Dexter Lumis. It could be Funhouse Bray. That would be better, wouldn't it? $125 and you get to speak to Funhouse Bray. I want them to do more of it, actually. I'd love it if there was more. Could you imagine? Anyone in the world can pay like $125, but you get 2 minutes with whatever superstar you want. They can make so much money from that. They can make so much money from that. Because it's not like Access where you're only dealing with the people that are there. You're now opening it out to the world. It's a really good idea. It's a really good idea. I hope it does well. I can go to a house show for $40 front row. I'd rather do that than a 2-minute chat. It's fair enough. Roll up one. I definitely would do the 2-minute chat if it was someone that I was really... Like Asuka. Asuka's like my favourite superstar at the moment. If you could do a 2-minute chat with Asuka... I mean, her English isn't brilliant. So it's not going to be the most engaging conversation. But... Do you know what I mean? Just to have that opportunity to speak to someone that you really enjoy watching. I should imagine a lot of people would... Could you imagine a Funhouse Bray one? They would make millions from a Funhouse Bray one. So many people would love to speak to Bray and ask him loads of questions about what's going on. Where's the Funhouse and all this kind of stuff. So, yeah, I think it's good. Funhouse Bray will face Orton at Survivor Series and The Fiend will face the Legend Killer at Mania. That's a really good shout. I can see that happening. Days, was the last time we saw Ciampa at NXT TakeOver in your house? Yes. Or is it Braun that comes out on top? Maybe this is a plot between Alexa and Braun to beat the Fiend. Alexa turns on the Fiend, plan all along. I don't know. I don't like the idea of the Fiend being outwitted, you know? He's all about psychology, isn't he? His darkness and mind games. They say that's what the Funhouse is. So it's not going to be a great look if he's managed to be outmaneuvered. Right, we're back underway with Mercedes Martinez, who's got a stretch on Shotzi. Hey Days, how is your day going? My day is going very well, thank you. Days, the Fiend should start a cameo and his account would be at the Fiend, yes. Butterfly suplex by Mercedes Martinez, shoulder up by Shotzi. kick to the side of the head by Mercedes Martinez. Mercedes Martinez grabbing Shotzi. Shotzi, nice little roll up. No, inside cradle only gets a 2. DDT. Mercedes Martinez is down. Days, what do you think of the promo between Cole and McAfee? Are you interested? Hopefully Cole wins for the sake of NXT. I was reading the chats. I got a 5-minute video from Becky and Seth because Becky's my auntie's friend. Oh, amazing. Hacker is going to return at the Thunderdome. Would you like that? It'd be interesting to see the Thunderdome get hacked, if you will. I think they've got a few plans for the Thunderdome. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happened at some point. Ria has got Aliyah on her shoulders. Plants her down face first. Rolls over Aliyah. 2. Mercedes Martinez makes the save. Inzaguri by Shotzi. Days, how come AEW watches you and talks in the chat but never Triple T? I think it's time you question your friendship. Triple T is busy, man. I've got... he works non-stop. Robert Stone is trying to get in. Mercedes Martinez looking for a clothesline. Big strike by... Ria Ripley, who drags Mercedes Martinez into the ring. Charging over. Shoulder tackle into the corner. Ripley outside the ring, on the edge of the ring. So is Mercedes Martinez. Big boot by Mercedes Martinez. Oh! Powerbomb onto the... concrete floor. That was a big spot. Sent on by Shotzi. There we go. Sent on by Shotzi. Wins it. Mercedes Martinez has been powerbombed onto the concrete floor. Out by where the crowd normally are. No plexiglass there. So, Ripley and Shotzi. Why is no one helping Mercedes Martinez? She's motionless. Where's the EMTs? Where's the EMTs? Where's the medical guys? Surely there's always a ringside doctor. Surely. That's nasty. That's a nasty, nasty powerbomb onto concrete. It would be cool to see Alexa join Fiend and a lady version of Fiend attack the women's locker room. This is a little bit silly. I don't understand why there's no doctor and why there's no one helping Mercedes Martinez. And you've just got Rhea Ripley and Shotzi laughing at a lifeless Mercedes Martinez. Okay. Right, next up, we've got an exclusive preview of Keith Lee and Karrion Kross. Connor says, I would love to speak to Otis, Mandy Rose, Undertaker, and Linda McMahon. Donald says, I want to talk to Retribution and tell them, how are you? Can I buy some spray paint? Is this Rhea Ripley's last match? I don't think so. I don't think so. What if Nikki Cross is Sister Abigail? I don't know. There hasn't been anything to suggest that. Karrion Kross is the future NXT this champ this Saturday. In my opinion, The Fiend doesn't need any championships. He just needs to target wrestlers. Yeah, I agree with that. I would ask Seth, what is the greater good? Lauren, I agree. That's a really good question. What is the greater good? What are you on about? Why do you need to sacrifice people? I completely agree with that. Days AEW has been non-existent tonight. I know. They need to up their game, don't they? Do you know that Retribution doesn't attack NXT because their parents refuse to drive them to Full Sail? They'll only go as far as the Performance Center. It's true. It is true. I would like to talk to Bray again. I've met him 3 times before. Grim signed up to the Thunderdome. Cool. Do you think is going to win, Cross or Lee? I'm not sure who's going to win, but I'm expecting Lee to still have the title. It would feel really, really soon. Really quick to take the title off him. Connor, shout out to you, my friend. Thank you for the kind words. We are just over half an hour away from the end of the show. We are, of course, at commercial break. We're always at commercial break. Jason says, I would ask Otis his opinion on Retribution. Probably the greater good is the group's name. Right, well, we've got 34 minutes, and in that time, we're going to have a look at Karrion Kross and Keith Lee, and we're also going to have a look at Balor versus Dream. We're going to have Finn Balor versus Velveteen Dream. So, a couple of things coming up. 33 minutes left of the show. And then we'll put our scores in for this weird episode of NXT where it's literally got all of the audience watching it. No other eyes on any other channels from a wrestling point of view. I would like to talk to Lana and ask her what her favourite TikTok video is. I feel like I'm the only one who believes Karrion is a tiny bit overrated, but is still good. Trini says, hello Trini, how are you? I don't feel like I've seen you in a little while. I love the idea of a virtual meet and greet because that's the only way that someone like me that lives in the Caribbean can logically speak to one of my favourites in 2020. Yeah, same for me as well in the UK. You know, they do come over a couple of times a year, but it's not... I mean, like, they do a couple of meet and greets in, like, local toy shops and whatever, but you never know who you get in. And so, you know, if you're a Bailey fan, Bailey might not be someone that you can meet. Or the meet and greet might be in Scotland, or, do you know what I mean? Like, miles and miles and miles away. So, yeah, I agree. And man, could you imagine if they started doing Legends at that price? Undertaker, $125. I should imagine they would charge more, but man, that'd be incredible. Bret Hart, $125. Shawn Michaels. They could do some really exciting stuff. Omar says, it's a sticky situation. If Kross loses, then he loses his momentum. But if Lee loses, he'll come up short. What about if Kross wins by DQ? Or something along those lines. Count out. Something like that, you know. Kind of keep them still both relatively strong. Do you know what I'd love? How about they run out of time? Don't see time limit draws, do you? Could you imagine if it's a time limit draw? That'd be cool. Give it a time limit of half an hour or something, and they'd go half an hour. There's never meat at a meet and greet. That's a very good question. A very good point. That you're right. There's never meat at a meet and greet, unless you do it in a butcher's. If you did it in a butcher's, then there's plenty of meat. Right, video. Let me change this over. Video package right now. Keith Lee package. I'll leave it at that. It makes it sound a bit more interesting than it actually is. Keith Lee package. Finn Balor should go back up to the main roster. I don't feel like he has achieved much in NXT other than some pretty decent feuds. Omar says, if Scarlett gets involved in a scary way, that could be amazing. That could be amazing. What if, how about this? What about if they did the Asuka finish, where you've got Scarlett beating up Mia Yim, and, you know, Keith Lee's got to choose, like, does he try and beat Karrion Kross, or does he go and save Mia? And he's got to choose. And he chooses to go and save Mia, and so it means he loses via count out. So Karrion Kross doesn't win the title, but it does allow him another rematch. I mean, this could be a feud that just keeps going for a long time. Do you know what I mean? There's no need. You don't need to put the title on Kross and end it. The narrator is Kross. Well, we're just seeing Dijak. I want to see Dexter Lumis. I want to see Dexter Lumis have a staring contest. Daisy, you should do a virtual meeting and show us it. I wouldn't know what to say, to be honest. And in all fairness, I'd rather, like, fans have it. If it was someone that I really, really wanted to see, then yes. But if I was chatting to Drew, or I've already spoke to Braun, Keith would be cool. Bailey would be cool, but I wouldn't know what to say. Days, will Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly face Street Profits? Roderick Strong versus Apollo Crews. What? Will Bobby... Hang on, what? Will Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly face the Street Profits? Probably one day, yes. Roderick Strong versus Apollo Crews. Oh, right, you're doing a... Yeah, I mean, if Undisputed Era do get called up, then, yeah. There's quite a few feuds for them. I feel like they've achieved everything they can achieve in NXT. I would call up Undisputed Era, if I'm being honest. I would call them up. Metallica, yeah, I believe they are doing the theme for TakeOver. I want to talk to King Corbin and ask if he trained to be boring or is it natural? Yes! Yes, Trinity! Could you imagine that? And you'd have the video for it as well. That would be amazing. Someone's going to do that. Someone's going to do some top-class trolling, aren't they? That's I tell you, if you're a WWE superstar, that's a tricky situation to be in, isn't it? It's a tricky situation to be in because you know that what you're saying is being filmed, so you can't reveal anything that hasn't been revealed. You've got to be real careful about what you say. And, do you know what I mean? Oh man, it is hard. You're just going to have to try and keep things real simple. Hello, thank you for requesting this. I hope you're having a good day. How's lockdown treating you? Blah, 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 things like that. And if someone asks you a question, you're going to have to really think about it. Because people are going to ask some real questions. I saw someone ordered a cameo from Carol Baskin, you know, from Tiger King. And they gave their names as, like, famous murderers and things like this. So, I can't remember the exact names, but I have seen the clip where it's, like, Carol Baskin. It's like, you know, want to shout out Jack the Ripper. And they were making Carol Baskin come out with all this awful stuff. But she wasn't, I don't know if it didn't click or what happened, or maybe she just didn't know the names. But there was a cameo doing the rounds on social media of Carol Baskin from Tiger King, like shouting out all these awful people. So you got to be careful, man. Days, what was your favourite woman superstar back in the day? Oh, I loved Alundra Blaze. Alundra Blaze, Sensational Sherry, Bull Nakano. Yeah, it'd be those ones. Days, that is the point of Seth's character. He is supposed to speak gibberish and not make any sense. Seth is supposed to be delusional. He probably doesn't know what the greater good is himself. I think that makes it difficult, though, to kind of get on board with him. I don't understand why he's not being challenged on it more. Why he's not? What is the greater good? Why does there need to be a sacrifice? Like, I really feel like he should be challenged on that a lot more. If that is his gimmick, that he is delusional, then I feel like they need to tell that side of his character a little bit more, you know? Because at the moment, everyone's seemingly just playing along with it, calling him the Monday Night Messiah, and do you know what I mean? Just kind of going along with it. You're not seeing anyone going... You're not seeing any stars asking the questions. Is everything all right with him? Do you know what he's on about with this greater good stuff? You're not really getting any of that. I feel like they could explore that a little bit. But I like the theory. Velveteen Dream. A bit of a mixed bag response for the Dream. There's a few boos. A self-imposed sabbatical. Okay, well, we've got 24 minutes. This is our main event. I loved Sable. Dream getting booed, yeah. Velveteen, Dream. Yeah, I think Dream has turned heel. Yeah, well, he did attack after, didn't he? So I think they have positioned him as a heel. If you could have anyone face Dream on the main roster, who would it be? Well, I think this is a very good match. Got no complaints from me with this matchup. Dream has had so much backlash, and rightfully so. Well, it's a really difficult situation because WWE are saying they investigated it and he's done nothing wrong. Apparently all he's guilty of is taking a, picture which has either fallen into the wrong hands or I don't know what's happened with it. WWE are saying they looked into it and they can't find anything wrong. We don't even know if the person that made the allegations is the age that they claimed to be. So there's loads of questions about this. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's questions around the Dream as well. I'm not defending the Dream. I'm saying that I'm telling you what I know, and that is Vince, Triple H said they investigated it and nothing could be found. But there is still a grey area that's a real problem because there's one person saying that they haven't been spoken to on Twitter. And Triple H was asked about that, and he was like, look, if we need to do something further, then we'll do it. But I don't want to speak about the investigations anymore. Balor flips over the top of Dream. WWE is trying to sugarcoat everything. The Dream is dodgy, says Imtiaz. Chalmers says this should be for custody of Kathy Kelly. We are at commercial break. I think there'll be probably one more after this. WWE can't contact the victims. I don't know what they can do. They've investigated it. I mean, it's patchy because I don't know what they've done. Equally, there's something out there that seems to suggest, and again, this is only alleged, it can be faked, but it seems to suggest that one of the accusers has admitted that they made it up. Now, that can be faked. So this is what I'm saying. The whole thing is really messy, and it's hard to know where the truth is. What there's no denying is that it doesn't make me support the Velveteen Dream, if that makes any... Like, I really like the Dream, and I think we all did, but it's just not... It's not the same, is it? And this is a real problem. If he's completely innocent, this is a real problem. How do you resolve it? How do you find the truth? Don't know. Days, my women's dream match is Lita versus Sarah Logan. Okay. Is Tessa still coming to WWE? I don't know. Brony says that's a tricky situation for the Dream. It's a tricky situation all round. I just don't know. I mean, there's nothing stopping people making these allegations against wrestlers they don't like. Do you know what I mean? There's people out there that will take things too far. There's people out there that will make up these kind of things in the future. And we need to know how to deal with it, really. WWE need to figure out how they're going to deal with it. Because it affects how you look at how the wrestlers, because if he's guilty of those things, then he needs to be in prison, let alone not on WWE. So it's really difficult. It's really, really difficult. Big Guy says, WWE cover-ups. They've been doing it for decades to protect their talent. Trini says, we need clarity before we can give a fair opinion. Yeah. Chalmer says, I've got to go with innocent till proven guilty. James says, without hard evidence, it's hard to prove because even hard evidence can be faked. Yeah. Yeah, it's just really difficult, isn't it? Against the ropes goes Balor. Up. Fez pressed by Velveteen Dream. Dream wrestling in just like black jeans. Velveteen Dream howling down the camera. He must be very inspired by Shotzi Blackheart. Would you like to see a rivalry between Miz and Bryan? I think we've seen one. Well documented. So, I don't know. I mean, they could go back to it, but I feel we've seen it quite a few times. Face first, Balor goes into the turnbuckle. Slapped by the Dream. They've suspended Joe Coffey. But it seems like Dream is getting a pass. If the allegations were true, wouldn't Dream be in jail? Well, yeah, I mean, it's a hard thing to prove, isn't it? Because it might just be a case that it's their word against his, and you know, how do you prove it? I don't know. I mean, I suppose in a way it's true. If they're saying that it was sent to them, then have they got proof of it actually being sent? Is it actually on their Instagram or wherever it was sent? Is it actually on their WhatsApp, or I don't know how it was sent? But have they actually got it in their history from an account that can be checked? Can there be a cyber team that look into it? Or I don't know. I honestly don't know if the authorities have been involved. I mean, I know Velveteen Dream said he was going to get, I think, a legal party involved. He came out and denied it. It's messy. It's really messy. Dream trying to get over to the ropes, and he does. Balor lets Dream go. Balor walks away. Balor grabbing the leg of Dream. Dream goes down. Balor dragging Dream over to the ropes and comes crashing down onto the body of Dream. Hard hitting stuff this from Balor. Balor dragging Dream to the middle. Trips him. Nice. Goes back to working at the leg again. And Dream trying to reverse it of his own. Looks like he's trying to get an arm bar, but Balor holding on. I feel that Apollo should turn heel. Do you agree? I think he's been heel before. They've tried a few things. I could try him as a heel. I don't know. I don't know if Apollo has got it. And I hate saying that because that's something that WWE will say. But I don't see great Apollo matches. And Apollo's taken on MVP. And it's a match I'm really not looking forward to at SummerSlam. And maybe if he was in a better feud against someone else. Perhaps it's the opponents that he's facing. I mean, like, him against MVP just doesn't do it for me. Him against Lashley won't do it for me. I don't know who I'd want him facing. Maybe him against Ali. Maybe him against Ricochet. Maybe him against Cedric Alexander. Maybe those are the matches I want. So maybe it's not Apollo. But at the moment, I don't think it matters if he's face or heel. I think it's the feud that he's in. Just isn't working. Nice forearm strike by Dream, and Finn Balor goes down. What's Ridge Holland doing in the back? I just went with a picture of someone that I'm really into at the moment on NXT. I'm really into Ridge Holland. I do like him. He lost tonight, but I do think that was the right thing. As I said, nice slow build. Nice slow build. Wrestling Days fan says Apollo is a good wrestler. Days, Drew is going to win and Randy will get revenge at Payback. Okay, well, Dream backing up a little bit. Goes for a big kick. Big chop by Balor. Takes the leg away. Stomping away by Balor. Apollo could use a few weeks on Underground, where he wins a few weeks in a row and becomes a threat. That's interesting. Double axe handle by the Dream. We should be getting up towards another ad break. Here we go. Dream up over the top. Days, would you still like to see The Fiend versus Demon Finn? Yeah. Here's Cameron Grimes. I think Cameron Grimes will win. They're really high on this guy. Cameron Grimes says that right there belongs to me. And we've gone to commercial break. So, commercial break. Grimes is here. Not Elon Musk Grimes. The other one. Days, Vince is going to use Balor to his full potential with the Demon once he's 50 and then milk it all the way till 65 like he did with Undertaker. WWE Rocks 2423 asks, why isn't there AEW? There isn't AEW because it's on Saturday instead. So, did you notice Ricochet's Instagram account? It is called King Ricochet. I think WWE could make him a heel, and then he could become King Ricochet. Interesting. Interesting. Anonymous J, shout out to you. Tyler says WWE doesn't treat Apollo right. We are at commercial. Yeah, this will be the last commercial. And then we will do our scores at the end of the show. Harry says, I think Alexa will spit some mist into Braun's eyes. I don't know. Is that not gimmick infringement? Is she not leaning a bit too much then on what Asuka does and what many, many wrestlers have done before? Surely there's only room in WWE for one person to be doing that. Days, will you go into the Thunderdome? No. You're not allowed to stream at the same time, so. Will there be a stream tomorrow? I believe so, yes. There will be, there's a members stream tomorrow, and there is probably a watch along after, so keep an eye on the Wrestling Days Twitter. I'll probably put it on the Twitter. Days, the Lumberjack match with all the legends, Drew versus Randy in a Lumberjack match. Brandon says WWE should have brought back the Mix Match Challenge. I think it's been difficult for them to just get Raw and SmackDown done, to be honest, with all the challenges with the pandemic. So them committing to the Mixed Match Challenge this year probably was a no-go. They might bring it back. I don't know how successful it was on Facebook. I think it itself as a show was all right, quality-wise. I think it was fun. But, yeah, I don't know if Facebook's still interested. Because it was done for their new TV thing, or, I don't know, their new watch element. I don't know what you call it. They were starting to put video on, weren't they? Alexa's going to appear in the ring with a Fiend mask between Braun and Bray. I'd like to see Velveteen Dream get a gimmick change, says Ali. Yeah, Dream getting a gimmick change would be... it's difficult because I think the gimmick has been good for him, but it doesn't feel right now. Him coming down and acting all kind of sexual, I suppose. Dream hurls Balor over to the corner, but I suppose if you take that gimmick away, then you're really changing the character so much it'll become unrecognizable, you know? I don't know. He's a real problem. I don't know what you do with him. Even I'm happy to admit that if I was booking it, I would struggle to know what to do with Dream. Cameron Grimes has come down. He's sat on top of the ladder with the championship, and I don't know why. I don't know why he's come down and sat there, because it seems quite obvious that someone's going to push him off the ladder. Alexa's going to appear in the ring. We read this. My theory is Retribution is comprised of those that were let go in April. So Kane could be in Retribution. Kane Velasquez. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. He would be great for Raw Underground. He would be amazing for Raw Underground. Velveteen Dream back in the one corner. Balor in the other. Dream up top. Saturday is going to be stacked with everything that's going on, says Brian. Kane would have been perfect for Raw Underground. I would just take him off TV for now, says Ty. I think you're right. Imtiaz says Fire Dream is done. Chop's coming in. Harry, shout out to you, my friend. Cameron has stolen the title, says Better Spark. Okay, Velveteen gets hurled up. He goes over the top rope. Again, look, Dream on the outside. Holding on to the ladder that Cameron Grimes is currently sat atop of. Balor kicks Dream, is now stomping away at Dream. Balor climbing up the ladder. Cameron Grimes has got the title in his hand, is climbing down the other side. Face first onto the edge of the ring. Cameron Grimes climbing back up again, holding up that North American Championship. Undisputed Era versus Retribution. I would take him off TV and put him back when we know if he's done it or not. WWE are saying that they investigated it and he was found innocent, so they're saying that they've brought him back because they're happy that he's innocent, but I do agree there's still some question marks. Balor backed into the corner. Dream starting to get up to his feet. Balor runs over, kicks Dream into the corner. Dream goes down. 5 minutes left, yes. What do you think of Bayley Banks at Payback? I think it'll be either Iconics or Riot Squad, Ruby Riot and Liv Morgan. Probably Ruby and Liv. My guess is Ruby and Liv will go on to face Balor and Sasha. Superplex by Velveteen Dream. Johnny Gargano has come down. Johnny has grabbed hold of the ladder and he's pushed the ladder over. Cameron Grimes has come into the ring. He knocks down the referee. Grimes has been a nuisance throughout this match. So Grimes is in the middle of the ring. We'll just leave the ring, Grimes. You don't have to stand there. What are you doing? Double stomp by Balor. Leg drop by the Dream. Finn Balor was born to be in NXT. Besides winning the Universal title, I don't think the main roster know how to use him correctly. Johnny has grabbed that title, but Bronson Reed is making his way down. Gargano in the ring. Bronson Reed in the ring. Damian Priest is behind him. Priest has got such a great look, hasn't he? Priest looks really cool. Is this going to... do you think this is going to result in Velveteen Dream and Finn Balor both being added? Do you think this is just going to be seen as a no contest? No contest in the main event. Kick by Priest. Bronson Reed stays on his feet. Super kick by Dream. What a shot. What if Bayley and Sasha take on a Funkadactyl reunion? There's Timothy Thatcher. Timothy Thatcher out of nowhere attacking Finn Balor. This is interesting. So, what? Dream Valley Driver. Could it be that Dream gets the win and we get Thatcher Balor? There we go. Dream up top. Yeah. Wow. They're all in on Velveteen Dream, aren't they? Velveteen Dream is going to be at TakeOver 30. Velveteen Dream pins Balor. So the Dream is going to be at TakeOver 30. Balor lost that match thanks to Timothy Thatcher. Wouldn't surprise me if that gets added to the card. Or it's made for next week or something. Where is Lumis? Yeah, he is injured. He is injured. Johnny going over, grabbing the belt. Kick by Cameron Grimes, who's just got lots of kicks. Lots of attacks. Just putting over this ladder match for Saturday. Dream 1. This sucks. I think if Asuka wins against Bayley and loses to Sasha, I think Bayley will then backstab Sasha because she's jealous. Bronson Reed is the one that's standing tall last with the championship in his hand. And there we go. That was NXT. That was NXT with no AEW competition this week. So, what are your scores? What are your scores? Get your scores in for NXT. Thick boy for the win. Chalmers says a little overbooked. Everyone is super kicking and elbow in and everything is happening. 9 from Bembo. 8 from Damien. Train Dude 5 says 0. That was a bad ending. Scott Turner gives it a 6. Team Burgundy gives it a 9.8. Vinny gives it a 7. Future gives it a 7. Brony a 7.25. Wrestling Days Fan a 7.75. Sonny Wolf says nah. 8, 9, 25, 8.6, 7, 257, 757, 257, 79, 858, 857, 257, 856, 7257. So I'm getting a lot of 7s. 656, 7, 9. AEW 2, NXT 1, says Ewan. Eric 8.2, but Tyler gives it a 6. Imtiaz gives it a 5. Monica says the ending was 7.75, 7.61. Jake gives it a 9.5. Omar gives it a 0. What just happened? This is just unreal. Finn should have won. Then they had the 7 guys in the ring. Creed gives it an 8 out of 20. So bad, I'm giving it a 0. 3.9. 7 because Dream won. 7.75. AEW is better than NXT. 4.75. Twitter is about to melt. Do you think it's right to put the Blue Universal title back on The Fiend at Super Showdown? I don't know, dude. I don't know if they'll do it at Super Showdown or when they'll do it. Daisy, it sounds like you're saying one big number. Texas Ranger fan gives it a 2. Typical ending for a go-home show. 10 from Danelle. 7.25. The second hour wasn't good. I was at a 7 at the halfway point, but that has knocked it down to a 5, says Jennifer. Ooh. 4.75 from Harvey. 9.6 from Brendan. I just feel that Dream should not be in that spot so soon. Kristen, shout out to you. John gives it an 8. Long live the Velveteen Dream, says Anthony. Some people here are AEW marks. Demon King gives it an 8.3. John Cena Gamer gives it an 8. Brian gives it a 6.5. Harry gives it a 7.1. For me, it's a 9.5. Kim says I didn't watch. Who on the Raw side? 8 from Amir. Interesting scores. 6 because Dream won, says Malik. Yeah, man. People aren't happy about that, are they? People aren't happy about the Dream winning. Which I can understand. For me, I think that it's. I think they've really missed the mark, NXT tonight. I really do. I think they had no AEW, so they had a real opportunity to capture people's attention. There's probably people watching this show that don't normally watch, or certainly don't watch it all because they watch AEW instead. So they might have tuned in because they normally watch AEW. So they're like, right, let's see what NXT is. Let's check this out, yeah, from start to finish. Have they seen a show that will have blown their mind? I mean, even by the chat, not my thoughts, even the chat's thoughts, I'd say the average is about a 7.25, something like that. So are we in a 8, 8.5, 9? No, we're not, and we should be. They should have gone absolutely all out for this show to have got us to an 8, 8.5, 9 territory. But I think the chat is giving it a 7.25. So I really feel like they've missed the trick. I think the first match between Johnny Gargano, Ridge Holland, I thought was good. Dakota Kai match was fine. There was a lot of just stuff that was like fine. Wasn't really anything that was offensive. Dream winning, I've got to admit, I don't agree with either. I think there's so much heat on him that just coming out saying that we've done an investigation, we couldn't find anything. That's all right. But there is someone on Twitter at the moment saying, well, I haven't been spoken to. So you do then start to question, well, hang on, how much of an investigation did you do? So there's a few question marks around that. So having Dream win here doesn't feel good. So I have to agree that that result doesn't feel like a great result. Cameron Grimes sitting on the top of the ladder looks silly to me. I think there's so much more he could have done rather than sitting on that ladder and then just having like lots of people coming down and just beating each other up, and it's just pretty standard. Do you know what I mean? Not exciting. Below NXT, if I'm being honest. This is not the NXT that I remember watching on the network. This isn't the NXT that was like bringing through great wrestlers and giving us some good storylines. And I don't know, there's something missing. It could be the crowd. It could be Full Sail. It could be a large part of NXT was, that small, intimate environment with the crowd, and the crowd always played a big part, Maybe that's a massive thing that's missing. Because wrestling in a dark void does no one any favours. And if your booking's going to be average, at best, then, yeah. I mean, did I hate the show? No. Was I bored at times? Yeah, I was actually. I was bored. It's kind of rare for me to say this, but we used to say NXT is the best WWE brand. But I, without a shadow of a doubt, have more fun watching Raw and SmackDown now. I have more fun. I'm not saying it's better, but I'm saying there's more to talk about and I have more fun with it. There's not really like any comedy in NXT. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing for you to have fun with. Some good action. You get good wrestling. I'll give them that. There's definitely some good action. And some decent names, I mean, Balor and Keith Lee and Karrion Kross, and do you know what I mean? There's some decent names there, but they need a bit more star power if they're going to compete with AEW, and they need to take chances, and I don't think they took their chance tonight. They needed to knock it out of the park, and even by the chat's standard, even by the average score in the chat, not my thoughts, what you guys thought, it's a 7.25 or 7.5. I'm going to say it was a bit below that because I wasn't really massively feeling it, if I'm being honest. I wasn't really massively feeling it. So I'm going to say that it was maybe a 6.75. Maybe I could go a 7. It's pretty bored. Do you know what I think tonight suffered from? I think tonight suffered from being a go-home show. You know how we always say that go-home shows are always a bit, it's a go-home show. I think this suffered from being a go-home show. There wasn't really any new exciting feuds that were set up. There was no OMG moments, unless you regard Raquel Gonzalez coming back as an OMG moment, which was a nice moment. I'll give them that. They definitely get something for that. Timothy Thatcher attacking Balor at the end. I don't know, man. I don't know. It just kind of feels a bit. They needed. This didn't need to be a go home show. They needed to smash it out of the park. Do you know what I mean? If something had happened where you tuned in tonight and it's like, guys, Velveteen Dream, unfortunately, was attacked backstage. He's not going to be able to compete. So we're desperately trying to find a new challenger for Finn Balor. You're going to have to stay tuned on this because we don't have a name. We don't have anyone. We're seeing what we can find. So keep your eyes peeled for any announcements on our Twitter and whatever. And of course, if we get anything, we'll bring it to you. So you could start the show like that. And it's like, wow, okay, who's that going to be? And then you could go through the show and there could be a few rumours, whatever. And it could turn out to be someone like Kevin Owens. They could have like brought in a big name. Finn Balor versus Kevin Owens could have been on the show. Do you know what I mean? And they could have explored a few New feuds. I understand you got to put the finishing touches to take over, and you got to do your advertising for that. Totally understand that. Totally understand that. But I still think there was a way of doing it and delivering a good show as well. And Mercedes Martinez getting power bombed outside the ring and no medical help. Like, are they incompetent now? I don't understand. Where was the doctor? Why did no one come and help Mercedes Martinez? She got power bombed onto concrete, and they must have filmed it a special way, right? It looked like it had been filmed a special way. So I think she got power bombed onto a mat, and then they switched, and it looked like she was out on the floor. So they've done a bit of cinematic trickery. So they know that's a big deal because they've filmed it to make it a big deal, right? So they know that it's a big deal. But it's not a big enough deal to get a doctor. I didn't understand that either. Even that made me go, what? Weird that there was no Keith Lee and Karrion Kross, considering I'd imagine that's your main event. So I think that's a bit strange. But I thought the women's tag match was good. I thought Gargano and Ridge Holland was a good match. I'm into Ridge Holland, hence why he's behind me. I think he is a good star that's coming through. Maybe can fill that Dexter Lumis void. I don't know how long Lumis is going to be out the picture for, but maybe Ridge Holland can kind of fill that until he comes back. And main event match was all right. Just didn't like the ending. Bit as I think was it Chalmers said, overbooked. I can go with that. So yeah, yeah. I think it could have been a bit better. Days, I agree. Dream shouldn't be on NXT. They've still got people speaking out. We just need WWE to look into it more. Days, NXT was pre-taped. Okay. Amir says, Finn, after the match, is like, okay, Triple H, I came here to be pushed, not to lose week after week. I'm going to go to the main roster. WWE Freak Official says, I'm not watching TakeOver. Days, it was taped. Why is everyone telling me it's taped? What's it matter? I don't understand. Who cares if it's taped? I don't care if it's taped or if it's live or whatever it is. Doesn't make any difference. I mean, that moment between the powerbomb thing, that was clearly edited. So if the whole thing was taped, then fine. It don't make any difference to me if it's taped or if it's live. I mean, okay, maybe that explains how they edited the powerbomb thing. But yeah, that definitely looked like it was edited, because it looked like she was slammed onto like a mat, and then they cut camera angles and she's just laid out on the floor. So yeah, just weird. I mean, it was a great spot. I loved the spot. I loved the powerbomb. Thought that was great. But yeah, just kind of, you look at it and go, well, where's the doctor? There's got to be a doctor at ringside. It's got to be. I do not support Dream winning, says Anthony. Imagine the disaster if Dream wins on Saturday, says Anthony. Yeah, that's true. Austin says, Days, thank you for the stream. It was great as always. Have a nice day. Take care. Be safe. Shout out to you, Austin. Mr. Robot says, you take this too seriously. Hey, wrestling is serious. It is serious. It's meant to be a contest where two people settle their differences in the ring. It wasn't that long ago everyone was believing what they were seeing. So I think it's all right to question a few things. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Days, they pre-taped it before knowing about AEW. Well, I'd still expect them to put on a better show than they did, whether they knew about AEW or not. If there was potential to go back and film some stuff after finding out, because they will have had opportunity to have refilmed some things if they so wanted to. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. They put out what they put out. So they could have made that. They could have looked at it and thought, wow, we've got a real opportunity. Once they found out that they were not going to go up against AEW, they should have seen that as a massive opportunity. And if they've just decided to air the show that they recorded, which to me was a pretty average show. I mean, yeah, just not really much to get too excited about. If they're going to air that, then I'm going to judge them on that. could have gone back and refilmed some stuff. They could have, done anything. They can do anything. They've got loads of wrestlers at their disposal. Everyone's stuck in Florida. I'm pretty sure Triple H could have called in some favors, or do you know what I mean? They could have done anything. I just kind of feel like this was, I don't know. You have to judge what you see, and I'm just really surprised that they didn't give us more. If NXT can't get at least 750 in the ratings, some serious changes need to be made. Thanks for a great stream. Shout out to you, buddy. It was known that AEW was going to move to Saturdays for several weeks. It was reported 3 weeks ago. When was NXT taped, says Andrew. Dream shouldn't be in that spot, even if the allegations are false. He just came back and he needs to have a few more weeks, in my opinion. Either way, I'm team Gargano or Priest this Saturday. Anthony says, Ridge Holland reminds me of Wade Barrett. Brendan says, Randy Orton NXT attack against Tommaso Ciampa. Anthony says, thank you for the stream. You're welcome, my friend. Monica says, are recorded or not NXT still need to work on their show? They come out every week with a bit of an average show. They need something new. Ridge Holland reminds me of Wade Barrett. We read that. Kim says, the investigation can go on for a while. And in that time, you're not going to push Dream until it's over. It's not fair. He worked hard to get to WWE. Just for that to go away, kill his push if he is guilty. Okay, so you're saying that it's all right to highlight him whilst the investigation is being carried out? I don't know, dude. When it comes to companies, if there's an allegation made, the companies can suspend you whilst the investigation is happening. So when I worked in the entertainment store, if there was an allegation made, then we would suspend people. HR would, tell me to. So you'd have to suspend people. Now, depending on the evidence, you can suspend with pay or without pay. If it's a case that they've punched someone in the face in front of witnesses and it's on CCTV and there is no doubt, then they could be suspended without pay, invited to a hearing. There's not much of an investigation that's needed. Of course, there could be some mitigating circumstances, and if it turns out that, that they for some reason deserved to be punched in the face, I don't know why they would, then you can always give them any missed pay them back and stuff like this. But I'm pretty sure that, these allegations are so serious that you probably would want to take them off TV whilst investigating. Probably would want to keep them out of the picture because, man, if it turns out that it's true, then what you've done is you've put someone that was guilty of this, you've actually been having them on your TV show all this time, and that's just not a good look. So I understand that it's not fair. I understand that if he's innocent, it's harsh because, it's just a difficult situation, isn't it? It's just, there's no two ways about it. It's hard to say what's right and wrong, but I think they need to move quick. I think there's got to be a thorough investigation. I think he's got to be off TV whilst that investigation is being carried out. I think that investigation needs to involve the authorities. And then I think a police statement is needed, really. I think the police need to tell us what's been found so that we know that it's been properly investigated. The police have been involved and, everyone's been spoken to and it's done. Whereas this Triple H saying, yeah, we looked into it, does feel a bit sketchy, doesn't it? Especially when there's still someone out there on Twitter being very vocal, saying that they haven't been spoken to. And they did make allegations against the Velveteen Dream as well. So it's really difficult. It's really, really difficult because I don't know if he's guilty or not. I haven't got a clue. I don't know as much as you guys. But yeah, it's really difficult. Miss Clown 1, shout out to you. Days since WWE just reunited Liv and Ruby, do you think they'll split them up again? I'm not sure, dude. I don't know that they'll split them up again. I just kind of think that I think they'll get an opportunity. I can see them going for the title soon. I can see them going for the belt soon. WWE fired Enzo and Rich Swann without looking at the evidence. Everyone is blind. I don't know. I kind of feel like there was a lot of heat on Enzo anyway, so I think WWE might have fired him just because they were on the verge of firing him anyway. I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back. So, I mean, there was lots of reports that he was causing backstage problems. So, I think that they were just looking for a reason when it came to Enzo. In regards to Rich Swann, I don't know the outcome of that. I mean, so I can't comment on that one. I don't know. Enzo was innocent. Yeah, as I said, I think they were looking for a reason. So I don't think it necessarily mattered. Members only stream tomorrow. Yes, there will be a members only stream tomorrow. It's not fair for Gallagher and Theory. Dream is on TV, but Gallagher got fired and Theory hasn't been on TV. Well, I think Gallagher... I don't know if Gallagher has admitted to it. I don't know. I mean, it's so hard to talk about these things because I don't know. So I don't know if Jack Gallagher has behind the scenes come out and said, yeah, look, there is some truth to this. And as a result, WWE have gone, right, well, you're done. Because they might sit down with the talent and go, like, first of all, is this true? We need to know, because the truth will come out, and we are going to look into this. We are going to be contacting people. And Velveteen Dreams maybe turned around and said, no, there's no truth in it. Contact who you want. And so they've done a bit of an investigation into it. I don't know how thorough that investigation was. In regards to Jack Gallagher, he may have turned around, I don't know that he has, and said that there is some truth into it. And so as a result, they've parted ways. I mean, without knowing what was in the investigations or whatever, I honestly can't say. I honestly don't know. Is Renee going to AEW? There's going to be an offer. I don't know what the other offers are, though, but... Rich Swann hit his wife, but she dropped the charges. Harry, shout out to you, my friend. I can't see it. I'm refreshing that. Beth Phoenix and Natalya against Bayley and Sasha. I don't. Maybe. I mean, I think people would like to see Liv Morgan get a chance. There's a lot of support for Liv, so I think that Ruby and Liv against Bayley and Sasha would be very well received. But if they wanted a bit more star power, then I suppose they could do Beth and Natalya. Timothy Thatcher could face Finn Balor at TakeOver. He could, yes. He could. Balor Thatcher would be a great match. Monica says, I haven't heard from Jack Gallagher since everything happened. I don't know. I don't know. There was some people that came out, and I am not saying Jack Gallagher was one, but there was a few that came out and basically admitted that they had made mistakes via social media, right? I don't know. I don't know what happened with Jack Gallagher, and if he was a part of that, or if he's held his hands up to the allegations, or what it is. Or maybe they were looking at parting ways with him, and this was the straw that broke the camel's back for him as well. It's hard to talk about because there's so much we don't know. But I can understand people being frustrated. I can understand people being annoyed. I can understand people being down. I mean, for me, it's hard to watch Dream at the moment. I certainly can't support him. I feel bad saying that in a way because I don't know what the truth is and he could be completely innocent. It's difficult, so yeah, it's difficult. I am the Riot Squad's biggest fan, says Brian. They should face Thatcher. Should Balor face Thatcher at TakeOver? They could do that match, yeah, they could do it. Apparently WWE is only paying for $450 to use the Amway Center, or is that $450,000? Some have admitted, some denied, and some just ran into the dark. Whatever happened to the other UK guys that got released? Well, nothing, because there's nothing happening here in the UK. So there's no wrestling for them to go off and do at the moment. All wrestling's on hold here. So there's no shows or anything. So we're not going to know if anyone will book them. But I should imagine, I mean, who's going to book them, honestly? Where are they going to perform? Who's going to take them after such allegations? Who's going to want to see them after such allegations? So you got to say it's the end of the road for some people. WWE must bring back the World Heavyweight Championship. I don't think Sir Swerve Scott deserved a Cruiserweight title match. AEW coronavirus has finally made WWE trying to improve the product and please the fans. Let's round it up. 4 minutes. We'll go in 4 minutes. 4 minutes, my friends, and then we will say goodnight. Sean Rousset says, I think Bronson Reed is going to win at TakeOver. I can definitely see that. There's no join button there, usually next to the subscribe. Oh, yeah, there's quite a few people that struggle to find the join button. I think it all comes down to whether YouTube likes you or not. I don't know. I don't know. Ben the Tank, I like you, but I'm not sure that YouTube does. Apparently, WWE is only paying $450,000 to use the Amway. That's cheap, especially as they're apparently going to be there for quite a few months. But then saying that, Amway apparently have got no events till 2021, so they're not getting any money. So as long as WWE are maybe covering the costs, the bills, and then paying $450, that's, you know what I mean? At least that's some money coming in for them. Bring back the fist. We need the fist. I hope Damian Priest is going to win the ladder match. Wrestling Days fan says, I also don't have the join button. I don't know, dude. What can I say? I like you. I like you. And I suppose that's all that matters. If Dream wins the title, there will be a major backlash. I mean, that is true, isn't it? Let's face facts. That is true. If Dream wins the title, there will be a major backlash. Maybe check the money sign where you would usually use the super chat. Days, I also don't have the join button. I know. Nothing on my computer either. I want to make this crystal clear. I do not get to choose who gets the join button or not. If I would let you all have it, you would all have it, okay? So, yeah, everyone would have access. But I don't know, for some reason, it doesn't seem to be on all devices. Brian Schaefer, shout out to you, says NBA and NHL don't start again until December 1st. There we go. Yeah, it makes sense. Joa says, have a good night. Shout out to you, dude. Harry says, I think I might become a member soon. Monica says, just approval from Days. That's all that matters. Austin 316, shout out to you. 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. Where is Jordan Devlin? That's a good question, Kim. I don't know, because he was someone that was accused of things, but I don't know what happened with that. I don't know what the allegations were when it came to him. But obviously there hasn't been flights from the UK, so I don't know if it's a case that he is just stuck in Ireland, or if it's a bit more serious than that. But at the moment, I think it's that he's stuck in Ireland. Days, what was the last WWE t-shirt that you bought? I'm tempted by a diamond stud tee. I think I got an Asuka one not long ago that I really like the look of, so I think I just picked up an Asuka one. I got quite a few Asuka ones that I just wear if I'm out and about, you know. But yeah, I like the Timothy Thatcher one as well. Thatcher's Thatch Can shirt looked really cool. Chalmers says, go for the whole hour. No, I did notice Sonny Wolf saying about the insiders, so I don't want to step on their toes too much, but yeah, we'll round it up to past. So, what are you doing? Are you doing the boxing? Yeah, I think we will, Nathan. Yeah, I think we will do the boxing. Night Days, what did AEW mean by keep watching? I don't know. I didn't even know that it was the real them, but people say it was the authorized. The authorized account. They said keep watching. I think they just want you to keep watching. Simple. I want Johnny to win. I love his heel run. Days, is Adam Cole a heel or a face? I don't know what's happening. It's mega lols. Days, what classic summer reaction are we watching? I think I'll put a poll on Twitter, dude. And with that, I think we are done. I'm really looking forward to Friday. That's what I'm going to say. I'm really, really looking forward to Friday. Friday, we are going to see the Thunderdome, and we are going to have a lot of fun with that. Thunderdome. So, yeah, if you are interested in that, make sure that you join us. We are back on Friday when we'll see the Thunderdome for the first time. I think we will do a classic watch-along tomorrow. But it's all about Friday, and it's all about Friday. UFC on Saturday, and the boxing, and we've got SummerSlam weekend. It's big weekend coming. So thanks a lot for watching. Really do appreciate the support, and hopefully see you again next time. Bye for now.